Two. Um,
So our audio is officially live, but our video is not. So don't say anything about Abraham Lincoln.
okay, can I say
Okay.
I can't say bad words, right?
Yeah, you
You can,
can
yeah,
just
you
not
go.
just not specifically about Lincoln.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
I'm s-
nothing derogatory towards any particular
President.
uh president, race, or creed, but everything else is fair game.
I
Or
got
Definitely.
creed. You can also make fun of creed too.
oh well, yeah. One second. Let me go get my iPad.
Okay. Wonder what the iPad's for.
Oh man.
I'm gonna tweet about the show.
Cool. Be right back.
I was just telling Alex, there's a very good chance I'm going to lose my voice at some point through this show. But if I do,
Oh
I'll just
no.
like do a lot of hand gestures. Or I can like write on a notepad and just like hold it up. I've got options.
We got options.
All right, we got 2 minutes.
Okay.
How would you prefer us to uh should we call you foie gras or should we call you Iphigenia or what's the best prefer? Because I don't want to have like an awkward moment where you're like, that's not really right.
Don't fucking call me that.
You can call me Foie or Iffy. Foie I think is
Foie Iffy,
best.
foie.
Um,
Got it.
Foie.
Fly.
Am I
Like
pronouncing it okay or wrong?
yeah, perfect. My full name is
Cool.
Iphigenia, because
Iphigenia.
my
Okay.
parents. Yeah, oh my God, good job.
Easy.
That's very
Easy.
good. Yeah,
So easy.
you look at. Yeah.
Good
What are
at
your
like
names?
some stuff.
I'm
I'm
Jack.
Alex, and I'm
Chad or
Alex. I
Chaz?
run the Venereal Disney's page.
Right, and I run Sexter's Laboratory.
Hello. Wait, did you say Chad or Chaz?
Jack.
No, I said
Jack?
Yeah, Jack.
Jack? I heard
Yeah.
I fucking 0 out of 2.
Chaz would be
Jack
great.
and Alex.
I kind of prefer Chaz, honestly.
I know a Chaz.
It's
I
like
don't know
He's
nearly
rare.
enough
nice.
Chazzes.
Because they're all Chesters and nobody's calling anyone Chester anymore.
Is Chaz the nickname for Chester?
I think so, yeah. I mean, according to
Wow.
Airheads, Brendan Fraser,
Yeah.
right? Like, that's.
My name's not Chaz. It's Chester. That movie's so bad.
Oh shit,
It
we're.
really is
Alright.
not.
I gotta switch this over.
You get
Oh
okay.
shit.
Oh shit, we're live.
All right, I'm gonna
Hi.
switch the screen so we can do the opening thing, and
Yeah, we
we'll be
gotta
good.
we gotta do our little vid.
Hmm?
I wasn't born to show people the error of your ways. I was born to murder the world, murder the world.
And just like that, we're back. Petty Images, episode 8.
It's episode
Hello
8.
everyone.
We made it.
And today we are joined by a talented artist, musician, and graphic designer, Foie Gras.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. We're excited to have you. You're actually our first, I think, officially non-memer guest.
Hmm.
Yeah,
We're
I mean,
branching out.
it started with memeing.
Did it? I
It
didn't know
started with
that.
memeing, yes. Mm-hmm.
Damn, I thought
I'm
we
just not
finally
that funny.
I thought we broke out of our box. I was really feeling good about it.
Nah.
No, you are.
Then-
I feel like
then
you are
never
funny.
breaks it.
Actually, you know what? I was thinking about this the other day. I was going to ask you this at some point in the
Huh?
show, but I feel like I've seen like jokes you've made online, like passing jokes you've made, just go viral for someone else. Like I've seen like you make like a caption and then it explodes as a tweet by someone else, and I'm just like, wait, this is
Yeah.
familiar. And I always think about that. I'm just like, damn, like if it were me, like if I were you in that scenario, I'd be fuming. Like I'd be so mad.
Man,
Yeah, same.
I've gotten my shit like kind of jacked from me since I was 19. And you just learn to just like water it off a nut sack, you know? It's just there's no point in getting angry sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I'm not monetizing it. If somebody else was monetizing it, I'd be pissed.
Well, one day there's gonna be like a bootleg shirt with like a joke you made, and everyone's
I
gonna
can't
wear it.
wait. I love bootlegs.
I
Well,
see
and
it.
also in like the style and like the visual style and just like overall effect of your work too. I think it's like it lends itself to be ripped off by somebody because
Yeah.
it's like it's got like it's got the pizzazz. People would be like, "Ooh, I'm not creative at all. I could jack this and like make people
Me and
think
my
that I
lawyer
am."
are just waiting. Yeah. Thank you.
Me and
Oh
my
shit!
lawyer.
We're
You're
just
also the first
waiting,
guest.
like-
Yeah, you're the first guest we've ever had who has a lawyer. So
That
a
can't
lot
be
of firsts
true.
here tonight.
I'm sure someone.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm just naive. I don't know.
I know a lawyer. He's not and if I needed him, he would be my
Oh,
lawyer.
okay.
Right. You don't have one
It's
on
a
like
tentative
retainer.
lawyer.
Yeah. It's not like you have someone you're like paying, monthly.
No. No,
Yeah,
that'd be
that's like
nice.
it.
If people think of me like that, they can.
I would love to have a lawyer on
Yes.
retainer just so I could like ask annoying like hypothetical questions, but not have to pay for like the hourly. Like just be like, what if I like fake my own death? Like what are like the consequences of getting caught with that? Like just like questions that like I don't want to Google. I
Right.
feel like that'd be great, but that'd probably
If
be
you
the
have a
only
pro,
use
it
I would
always
get out of
pays.
it. Because I don't ever break the law, and I never have, and I never will. And you
I'm
heard
like
it
a
here
perfect
first.
baby angel.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah, I respect what's it called, democracy too much. It's
Mhm.
important to me. Anyway, that's
Mhm.
not what this show is
We wouldn't
about.
be able to. We would. Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't be able to do this great show if we didn't have the rights that we have. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Abraham Lincoln, for that.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Abraham.
This show is brought to you by memes, creativity, and democracy.
And friendship.
Actually,
Rights.
speaking
Actually, I meant
of
to say rights, not democracy. Rights.
yeah, now I'm
Watched
thinking
it.
because we were just talking about ripoffs. Something we never
Mhm.
we never really get in. We always want to after the fact, but we never really get into like current trending things on this show because we always get caught up in just bullshitting. But I feel like today
Yeah, let's change it
it's
up.
crucial that we say something about these goddamn AI portraits because I am just drowning in the discourse without participating. I haven't said a fucking word about them, but I am
Me neither.
reading
Okay.
daily so goddamn much that I just like I
Well, so-
need to purge it.
I'm always
my
like
head.
slightly. Is it called Portrait AI? Is that what it is, or is it something
think
else?
Is that what
there's-
it is?
I've seen
There's
them.
there's different ones because there's that one.
There's
Okay.
heritage.
There's Lenzo, which is the one that someone told me about.
And then there's Me Too.
Lenzo.
I-
Too
It's like
soon.
the it's MEITU.
Damn, the darkest corner of the Me Too movement is just an AI generator. I
Yeah.
feel like I don't
I
know.
can't even find any examples on Google. I was gonna pull some up for the.
I can
for the listeners.
send y'all. I can text you an example. I have a photo of me as an Ottoman bride, and I sent it to my father. I'm
Cool.
like, this is what could have happened.
Uh,
My
Let me
friend
find it.
my friend sent me pictures from one that just like doesn't even really accurately generate anything. It just turns everything into anime. So like
Yeah,
all
that's
these
the Me
people-
Too one.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's that one. Yeah. and
Okay,
that
yeah,
one's
that,
like the
those
most
ones are
bizarre
cool. I
one.
like the one that was like 9/11 or whatever. I thought
Yeah,
that was really
yeah,
funny.
yeah. Like that's just
Zach,
so
I sent you
bizarre.
my.
I mean, not 9/11, not necessarily 9/11, but the turning it into an AI thing, just so we're clear.
Jack,
Yeah,
I
I
sent
can't find
you
any good
my
examples on
Amazon
Google,
Prime.
so
This is really good.
It's
you
so
can put it in the
pretty.
chat in Zoom,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
can share the
I'm
screen.
gonna send it to you.
But yeah, I mean, I've seen them in passing. I think one thing I'm glad about, I'm happy with, like in my page and just kind of overall internet use. I mean, a lot of it's like negative and bad, but like
Yeah.
I'll like see these. I'll see like the kind of the trend things happening, or I feel like I'm like always a little bit late to sort of own up to it or like participate in it, and then just kind of keep my distance until it's like not relevant anymore, and then I can use it in a way, and people be like, "Oh, it's
Yes.
funny because that isn't even cool anymore."
I'm a
So I've
sucker
seen
for
it. I'm
them.
like, "Oh, this is what people are doing now." There's a few like funny things like with the 9/11 thing. I thought that was clever, but I mean, that's kind of the peak of it for me.
I
So
always jump on.
that's where I stand on this issue.
I feel like I always jump onto the trends just because it's just easy content. Like, someone else has
Yeah.
figured out the
Hmm.
joke and I just have to like plug it in. But I didn't for this one purely because the one that someone recommended to me was like $8. I was like, I'm not paying money for this. And apparently there's like some loophole, but I was like, that's already too many steps. Like the whole point of it is just supposed to be like easy output, and I'm not gonna like figure out how to like cheat the app store just to like make a picture of myself as SpongeBob or whatever the fuck it is. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, like I think it's really, I mean, like I understand like the argument why people are mad at it. What I think is funny is the people who are mad at the people who are mad at it. Like the next
Yes.
layer of the discourse where people are like pushing back, where they're just like getting really spiteful and embittered by like artists who are like pissed off. Because like I honestly think like no one really needs to be pissed off about this. At the end of the day, it's such a
Right.
stupid thing. But I get like the first layer of the onion where like people are like they're stealing my art. Like it's a
Here's our
stretch.
guest.
That's me as an Ottoman
Participating.
bride.
Yeah.
Striking.
I mean, it's
What could have been.
it's what could have been. I
Uh-huh.
think it's what could be, honestly.
You know
Yeah.
what comes to
I
mind? The early montage of like in that show, What We Do in the
Yes.
Shadows, how it's like them all throughout history. That's
Do,
what
do,
popped into mind.
do you think they used AI for that? Because it was really good. They did like some pretty good
I don't
like
know. I think that the
history
graphic design on
matching.
that show as a whole is like pretty good from what I can tell. Whenever they're doing, I mean, just in terms of I enjoy it when I see them doing those things. And there's a lot about,
I've never seen it.
yeah,
It's a
it's
cute
silly,
show.
it's wholesome, but
The
in the
movie is
beginning,
great.
it's like just pictures of them all throughout
Or I
their
think
lifetime
I've
at
seen like
various points.
clips. Isn't there like a dude who's like a psychic vampire in it? Isn't that like one of the characters?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know
I
about
mean, I
that guy.
watched. It's funny because I watched the movie because people kept recommending it, and I don't want to like dwell too much on this other thing, but this is what came to mind. This is also something that happens. We'll get derailed and spend like 15 or 20 minutes talking about, but I watched it and I was kind of like, it's almost like too wholesome for me to enjoy it as like a comedy because it's being safe in a lot of ways.
Mm.
So I was like, it's not really doing anything in particular. So I was like, it's cute, but I didn't necessarily like it. But I think the show is fun. Like it makes me feel good to watch it, even if I'm not necessarily like dying when I'm watching it. I don't know.
It's too wholesome for you. You need like the bad boys of comedy, like
You
a
need like
Well,
Dane.
because
lively.
I love Matt Berry. I think he's just like
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
So I just kind of, and some of the times he just goes like so far out there with what he does, like with his like despicable characters. So to see him as like a somewhat like tame, like scaled back version of that is like it kind of speaks to the whole show. But like I love Nadja, and I'm happy for them. I'm happy for their success.
Hmm.
Can't wait to see what they do next.
can't wait to have him on the show. Just really happy for him. Good friends of ours. Love to
Good
Yeah,
see
friends.
them
I
yeah.
grow.
actually know somebody named Matt Berry if you want to have him on the show.
Oh,
It's
I
not
know
the same
someone named
one.
Oh
Matt
yeah,
Berry
sure.
too. You talking about Matt Berry that lives up in Seattle?
You know, he's down here in LA now.
He's in LA now?
Yeah.
Wow. He used to be in Oakland once upon a
Yeah.
time.
We're talking about the same Matt Berry.
Yeah, yeah. I
Uh,
booked shows for like one of I mean, not his first bands. One of the first bands I ever heard of that he was in, Happy Diving, and then he
Yeah,
like,
Happy Diving rules.
yeah, and then he like blew up, and now he's in like 50 bands, and he is his own
Hmm.
band. He is his own
That
main band,
rips.
but he is a
Yeah,
Matt Berry.
same.
I
The
didn't.
Matt Berry band.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah,
the berries.
Matt, and the
The
goddamn
Berries. I like it.
Dingleberries. Um,
Yeah.
Um, Jinx.
I keep getting I keep
That's
getting
so
super
dorky.
distracted because like this happens to me too, but like the screen is cutting out a chunk of your chin where the microphone is every time it kind of green screens out the microphone. So it's like Pac-Manning like the side of your cheek every few seconds. And every time it like catches the corner of my eye, I lose my train of thought like immediately. But it's good. It happens to me too. Like it doesn't like it keeps if I move too much, it'll like
Yeah.
well now it's not doing. There you go. And it'll like cut
Yeah.
out like a portion of my arm. But it's such a funny, finicky little effect. We love visual effects
So
on
let's-
petty images. You know?
Yeah, if you couldn't tell by the opening thing, that's just what's supposed to set the bar, and then everything else is like chilling with that bar, hanging on it.
What song
Just
was that
kind of
playing?
So
The
it's
opening.
it's called I believe it's Valley of the Sorrows,
Hmm.
or like that's the name. I'm just like it's definitely in that ballpark, but it's Joe Meek and the Blue Men, and then I put some other stuff on there. But yeah, it's from this album called I Hear a New World. And yeah, then
You
there were
can
just
send
like
it to me.
other vocal things I wanted to put on there. Yep, totally. But let's talk a little bit about your work.
Dude,
So like I know you do the you have your design work here. You have
mhm.
your page. Saw this one. Is that Peter Steele?
That is Peter Steele.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I saw that and I was like, wait, that really reminds me of that. And you also have you also have your music project too.
Hmm.
Or have you always done like both things kind of in conjunction with one another, or is it like one thing came first and you're like, oh, I should also do music, or like, oh, I should also just design graphics?
I actually like when I started making music, I didn't know anything
Hmm.
about music. I just thought that you could sell an album if the cover was cool. So
Hmm.
I made a couple ambient um and folky tracks just because I wanted to design album covers, you know?
Cool. Oh, that's
And
interesting.
I do think right now that like you can't have a good song with a bad visual. Like I think people are so overstimulated that they need both to kind
Hmm.
of feel confident in a band or in a song.
What do you feel like if you had to pick one of the two to be like known for, like renowned for, I guess like remembered ultimately looking
Mhm.
back on your like body of work, would you prefer for like the bullet point? Obviously, it would touch both, but for like the headline to be artist or like musician, like
Oh
where
my
or is it
God.
like a weird balance?
It's a weird, they're both my children, you know, I can't just pick one.
Yeah, but this
I
is like a you have to like someone's holding a gun to your head and you got to pick one.
artist. I mean, I'm on Photoshop more than I pick up a guitar. I feel more autonomy when I'm making art than I do when I'm making music. And I feel like more confident in my art too. Like everything can be ridiculed, right? But like if somebody ridiculed my art, I'd be like it would just kind of wash over me because like I make things that I like at least.
Right. That's why you're a great guest for the show. It's a
Thank
visual
you.
show. Music
It's
is
a
a side
visual
note. We
show.
hate music on this
Yeah,
show.
Yeah.
fuck music.
Honestly, no, and I mean honestly, I enjoy it because I was under the impression that it was kind of like it was like there's no like judgment, but there is judgment, but I'm not gonna like spill it all out. Yeah, whatever. I'm just caught up in the brain process right now. But it's
Respect.
like, oh, most people, or I feel like usually I think of people, especially musicians, it's like, yeah, this is my main thing first. And I'm like, oh, but I've always had this like interest or penchant for visual stuff. So I'm just gonna pivot over there, and I kind of like that it was like flipped in your situation. I don't know,
Mm.
for some reason that I find that like just more compelling.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, I obviously I didn't think I was ever gonna take music seriously. I called my band Foie Gras. Like I thought it was funny. And
Mhm.
then I started play it was like a big inside joke. Like I started playing shows and people started asking me to play shows. I'm like, okay, I'll play your show. And then
That's cool.
yeah.
So it's more of
Um
like a tongue in cheek sort of thing.
mhm, yes.
That's
I
cool.
feel like it's a like it caught me off guard because I followed. I feel like I followed you on like social media for a while, like knowing about your art, and
Hmm.
I had no idea that you made music for like such a long time. I think like you posted something and I like looked it up on Spotify and I was just like, "Oh, wait." And I looked it up. I'm going to be completely honest. I looked it up
Wait,
thinking it would be bad. Like cuz I always just
yeah.
assume people are good at one thing, right? Like
Right.
you can't do two things well. It's just like it doesn't happen. So if there's like someone who's good at like graphic design or art or whatever it is, and then they're like, I also have this music project. I'm just like, great, can't wait to fucking hear it. It's gonna be fucking awesome. But I like had to listen out of like morbid curiosity. And I'm glad I did because I fucking love it. And like actually,
Wow.
I I put Red Moon in a playlist and like multiple people and I posted that playlist on Instagram and multiple
Whoa.
people like DM me, like randoms would DM me and just be like, "Oh my god, like that's like my favorite band. Can't believe you've like heard of this band." And I was just like, "Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, it's good. It's
Am
really
I
good.
beloved?
You are apparently." But I mean, the whole album's really good. I fucking love Red Moon though. That song, I was in my fucking Spotify Wrapped with many other songs
Thank
that
you.
I will not name in this show. But
I'll name mine if you name yours.
I don't even
What's
remember.
the most
It's like,
embarrassing one? Why don't you all say the most embarrassing
oh,
one? 'Cause that's
I
what
can
I'm really
say
curious
the
about.
most embarrassing
Let
one
me pull it
easily.
up.
The most
What was your
embarrassing one
song
for
of the
me.
year? And most embarrassing one and song of the year. That's a
Most
good
embarrassing
prompt.
one was definitely Poland. It was the worst one
Okay.
to
I
show
love
up.
Poland, that song.
No, no.
Oh no, I took a
Yeah,
walk.
because I just thought I got it caught in
on-
my head and I like couldn't stop listening to it in like the background of everything I was doing. So it just kept going and going. I don't know what my top song is. I bet it was a Beastie Boys song, probably "Rhymin' and Stealin'."
Whoa.
I would
Surprising.
guess. I was in the top
Okay.
0.5% of Beastie Boys listeners this year.
Whoa.
One, two, three, four. My four top songs were all new
Hmm.
metal.
That's not embarrassing.
Cool.
That's great.
Oh, wait a minute. So
Well, it depends on
did you have,
which new metal it is actually.
I mean,
yeah,
I
well,
exercise a lot, so like new metal like pumps me up, you know. Um,
it's like, or kind of, I'd say like we're all around the same age, right?
yeah,
So it's kind of like all of our foundational, it's like kind of the foundation of all the music we listen to in a lot of
absolutely.
ways, I think.
My first MySpace song
So
was a
that makes
corn
sense.
song,
Which one was it?
Twisted Transistor. And then it was Job for a Cowboy, naturally. But my top Spotify song of 2022 was All Day I Dream About Sex by Korn.
It's pretty good. It's a good one.
Whoa. Hold
That's
on.
not an embarrassing one. That's like a
It
solid
is
hit.
so embarrassing. No, it's because I'm Greek, right? And it just invigorates something Greek in me, like the tempo or something.
Yeah.
Honestly, they like it's funny because I think they have the like unique they have like a unique place because it's like you can be ironic about corn, but they're also
Hmm.
you can also be really genuine and love them. Versus I
Yes,
feel like they still have vitality in both ways versus like someone with Limp Bizkit, if you were like a genuine Limp Bizkit fan, you would kind of probably rub a lot of people the wrong way, versus that's much more like ironically enjoyable, even though it is enjoyable
Yes,
still.
I think,
It's
yeah,
like
or
Corn. You
or
could be
like
like,
if you
no, they're my
were,
favorite band of all time, and people would be like, that's admirable. You know, they're very. That's just how I see it. But
or if you were to say like one of my
the
favorite
gift,
bands is like Stained, that would be like a hard pill to swallow.
right?
Like
Well,
that's
yeah, you'd be like a right wing, yeah.
because
wow,
Except
like
that first album is good. That first album,
it is.
Dysfunction, I think is what it's called. It's actually good.
I don't
Yeah,
even know a song besides the hit. I don't know a single
Which is the
song.
hit again?
I
there's
don't even
better
remember
ones.
what it's
There's
called. I don't even remember what the
you Mud Shovel. You take away, I feel the same.
yeah.
It's a bop.
You know what inversely is much better
Hmm.
than I remember it being. I would have thought was like garbage until I revisited it, but like Mudvayne is actually really good.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, the thing is with
Mudvayne,
Mudvayne, it's kind of like they're like trying to be like Slipknot and Tool at the same time, and that's like
Mm.
what Mudvayne is. But
yeah,
the first time I ever saw the song "Dig," the single, I
yeah.
was
Mm.
terrified of that video. Like I honestly couldn't really listen to. It's interesting. I was just like scared of so much metal, except for like Slipknot probably
Hmm.
until like probably high school. Like Slipknot was fine for me, but I couldn't listen to any other metal because it was just too. Yeah, new metal obviously, but not like the Mudvayne thing freaked me out because their face paint was so crazy. But
I don't know what they're.
now it's
Oh
all
yeah, yeah, the rubber dang, which I'm
Yeah,
so happy that became a meme for a hot second.
yeah.
Rubber dang.
I hope that they like
Uh,
got some
yeah.
compensation for that. I hope they're doing well
I hope they didn't. Yeah, I'm sure they're fine.
because they just kind of like
I don't
flew under the
know.
radar. They had like that one hit, and then like they
Yeah,
just they're not.
except you know what? I did, and I live in New York, and like so, and
Hmm.
which is like how people are in New York. But I saw somebody in like a cafe, the only person sitting in an outdoor cafe wearing a Mudvayne t-shirt, and I was like,
Wow.
oh, all right. It was actually like a really,
Oh.
it was like invigorating to see that.
three
I
hundred
like
dollar
seeing,
vintage shirt
Live your
got off
truth.
Etsy or
Would you
Depop.
yeah.
pay?
I mean, like
Would you
that's
pay
if
over two hundred
three,
dollars for like a t-shirt?
No, I mean
Mm,
if I
no,
had
because
over $200 to spend on a T-shirt, maybe, but I that's not in
like
my
for
budget.
fuck you money.
Yeah,
yeah,
if
it
I
really
was like,
depends. I just know I can't hold on to t-shirts for too long though.
Yeah, me neither.
But this is like the one at the moment. I'm proud of.
Who's
It's
that
like
by?
new.
Oh, it's
I'm
pretty.
forgetting the name
Wow,
of the
it's really
artist,
well.
but it's a collaborative shirt with it's that band Chat Pile that I heard. So big
Hmm.
ups to them because they're cool. Um,
They are very
but
cool.
like
I just saw a Chat
they
Pile
just like
shirt.
did a huh?
I just saw a Chat Pile
What?
shirt in Target. But anyway, go ahead.
In Target, like for
Well,
sale,
somebody was
or
wearing
someone was
it.
wearing
Not
it.
for sale.
oh
Not for
Oh,
sale.
yeah,
okay.
Some
I was like, wow,
Target,
they really jumped quickly into that.
yeah,
Like they're all of a sudden with like Nirvana and Metallica.
and Taco
Like
Bell.
they
I
got
got a
legit
Taco
really
Bell
Chat
fast.
shirt
Pile.
at Target the other day. It was great.
Taco Bell
Target,
shirt?
yeah, they had a Taco Bell. I don't know why. Like they don't. I don't think they have like brand crossover stuff, but they just had one. It was great. You can't even get a
I
Taco
saw
Bell
that.
shirt from Taco Bell, but you can get it at
No.
Target. It's bizarre.
No. But let's look a little bit more at your graphic content because that's what everybody's
Please.
like here for a lot of the time. Um, so when I was like looking through your whole page and all the, did you also, I was wondering because some of it looked familiar. Did you ever do any like crossover stuff or like participate in like the meme covers or anything?
What meme
Does
covers?
that mean anything? There was like, because for a long time, and it's still going on now, but I haven't been involved in it for a while, but where it was
Hmm.
like, it was one group chat, and what would happen is like weekly, everyone would be kind of randomly assigned a meme or like an account, and people would like cover a meme that somebody else did, and it was like a fun
Whoa.
exercise.
No, I've never
And then
done that.
you'd
That
like,
sounds really fun.
because some of the, yeah, it was really cool, but it like went through waves. So it was like, I think, Jack, you were in the one like just before. Or
Yeah.
you were like kind of, I feel like participating less in it as I was kind of getting involved with it, and then it just kind of went through like natural like
It was a
rotations. Like
very cool idea but because it was so open and so many people were involved, there was a lot of drama in it, and I feel like
Yeah.
I wish that I could keep doing it, but it was just too stressful. Too many people angry at each
Yeah.
other for something that is meaningless and silly.
But it was a
Me
good,
right-
I mean, it was a great way to like kind of, yeah, I guess like meet people who do it. And then, like basically everybody would like grow their pages out of it. Cause it's like, they would be like
Wow.
sharing, they'd be like pooling followers because like you cover this person, they'd
Yeah.
reshare it, whatever. So that was cool. But yeah, granted, like when more and more people get involved with it,
I have a story about
it
those
gets to be,
shirts you might want to know hear.
yeah, tell us.
I was gonna do a shirt a day for all of October, and then on the third day, I got a concussion.
Whoa.
Oh, damn.
And then
How'd you get a
I didn't-
concussion?
I was smoking a cigarette outside, and there's
Terrible.
like, you know those accordion gates?
Yeah.
One was like open but not locked, and the arm of the gate hit me, and
Damn.
it
Wow.
frazzled my brain for like a week or two.
Yeah,
And
concussions
did you make
don't
this
mess around.
before, or did you make this before that or after that?
Yeah, this is before the concussion.
Oh,
I
okay.
did 3 shirts and then I got a concussion. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Yeah,
I,
you
I was
gotta
like, oh, was this
rest that
inspired
brain.
by like the punchline that like you tried doing this, and then the universe was like, nope, here's a gate whacking you
Here's a
in the head.
gate. Bow.
Yeah.
Literally gatekeeping.
Hell yeah. Uh, how did it
You know-
do once you put them up? How'd the sale go?
It went really well. Everyone's so nice and like supportive. I'm gonna post.
Yeah, I mean, like but it's definitely like the look is, I mean, it's really like it's alluring and like really cool. So I mean,
Thank you.
makes sense to me that it would do well. Yeah, I'm like curious because I don't. It's like obviously I don't want you to like reveal the whole. Oh, Ricky, that's want to like
Oh, yeah,
reveal
that's
the whole
my
process of it.
friend.
Yeah, he and I grew up in the same town,
No
so
way.
so we like know. Yeah, we know each other.
That's so sick.
Yeah,
Yeah, what do
it
you
was
want?
like it was funny
I'm an
because I
open
didn't even
book.
know that. I didn't know. I didn't. Just a sidetrack. I honestly didn't even like know he did music until he was like internet famous, and I was like, oh,
Really?
whoa, he exploded. Because I was basically in a drunken stupor for like 3 or 4
Uh-huh.
years.
Happens.
And then when I finally came out of it, it was like, whoa, time warp. Like people were like internet famous, and I needed to graduate college, and it was just a fun time. But yeah, but I'm curious because like all of these sort of look like there's like an etching element or like a stamp, and I'm like, I don't know how to use Photoshop to like any degree like
I have
this. Like,
I
so
have the
I'm
originals.
curious about.
One sec. I have the originals, I think, right here. I swear I didn't come prepared. Yeah, actually, here's the original of that one. And I just did a
Let's scroll
bunch.
back.
Oh, hold on. I have to take off the background really quick.
Okay. Oh, because it'll like block
Yeah.
out. Which one was it?
It was the yellow one with the Xanax bars.
Okay. This is funny.
Uh,
The other day at the bodega, they
uh-huh.
were selling like poppers.
Oh
I don't know.
God.
I'd never noticed this before, but it says like nail polish remover on the poppers.
Yeah, you have to ask for window cleaner or else they act like that you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
So this
wow.
is the
Yeah, because I never
original.
noticed that. Oh, cool.
This might be the back.
Oh, so you're like physically like honestly, I thought that these were all like these were like digitally created to look cool. There it
Yeah,
is.
this
Let me
is
stop
that
sharing
like
Cool.
this is this, and
Oh,
then like
nice.
if I have a drawing I like, so this is not my original, like I copied my original so I could like color on it,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
then this is like one. Is this an original? This might be an original. And then this is like
Cool.
I reference like sex, like porno mags. And then this is not an
Mhm.
original because I wanted to make them bugs.
Okay.
Because
That one
they're
reminded me of
beetles.
like when I was
They're beetles.
like oh yeah. and I was like maybe 10 or 11 and like really deep in the new metal and
Uh-huh.
new metal wave. I would just like draw pictures of all of my favorite bands from it because I thought that that gave me some kind of more of a. So I did from like a Hit Parade magazine that I had. So it was like Orgy and like uh Corn and Limp
Corn.
Bizkit. I just I wanted to do art like how they did on a Significant Other, the like
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, I could never replicate that
It's
style.
like that like dark jet set radio style like art in your face, like limbs everywhere. I never like
In
the closest
your
I ever came to that
face.
was like I took like I think in like late elementary school, or like maybe middle school, I got those like
Mhm.
Milky pens. You remember like Milky pens?
Yes.
And I
Like
drew.
the
I
I
had like a
jelly. Yes.
yeah, the jelly pens, and I drew the logos of like every band that I liked at the time, like Corn, Third Eye Blind, fucking Slipknot, everything. And I remember I still have the binder like somewhere in like a box in the attic.
Mhm.
I misspelled Metallica. Like I went to like such trouble like ornately drawing out the logo for Metallica, and I misspelled it. And I like it was like
that
on
rocks.
the spine of the
Wow.
binder too,
Was
so it
it
was like so
was it
obvious.
Megalica? How did you spell it?
I don't remember.
What was the
Meow.
name of it?
Like a.
I just remember it was I think I like I forget what letter
That's
I
so
fucked up.
cool and funny because
But it was just
that
like
reminds
people
me
would
of
just
like
see it. People would see it and they'd just be like, "What the fuck is that?" Because they obviously knew what it was, but like no one, everyone's like on my ass about you know having
yeah,
this binder for school that made me look
Right.
like a poser. It was great.
yeah, it's just like a way to process all
I
of it. It's kind of interesting. It was like a way to process all of these things that you were kind of legitimately having like reactions to be like, all right, cool. I'm just like gonna combine all of them in these like notebooks. Like I did that with because I went from like the new metal kind of thing to all of a sudden I got caught up in like skateboarding. I was never good at
yeah.
skateboarding. I could never be good at skateboarding, but I really liked kind of the logos of it. So I would just like try drawing all of the cool logos for the different companies. So their advertisement, like their ad people were like really good at like doing their jobs
Technically, you're part of it.
because all those graphics were so cool.
You're one of the ad people because you're just drawing it all over everything.
That's what I'm saying.
That's just
It
marketing.
worked because they created that. They created that. That's the word I'm thinking of, marketing.
Yeah, there's like a momentum there because they would just like make these designs, then kids would just draw them on fucking everything. There's probably people like tagging walls with like the Spitfire guy.
Oh
It's
my
fucked up
god.
Yeah,
because
like
like
It's
I was always drawing like the World
ritualistic.
Industries dudes.
Oh
I was
wow.
drawing
Like the
like the World
Fire
Industries
Boys.
characters. Yeah,
yeah,
and I
God.
liked this is still like a debate in my head. It's like I don't know which because I'd always be like which one reflects me, like which one speaks to me the most.
yeah.
And sometimes
The
I'd be like I
blue
really like
one.
those like the crispy ones that are like really sleek, you
It's
know.
unfortunate that that was
Um,
before the days of like online social media quizzes, like which skateboard logo
yeah, that
character
would have
you.
made things so much easier.
Yeah, you could have just found out and
But
then
like
posted
also
it.
like or like Toy Machine, how I had like the finger one.
Yeah,
Remember that? So I'd be like, oh, do I like this more kind of like grungy, sort of like, you know, this grungy sort of style, like grungy jackass, whatever, or like polished, like velvet skate shoe crap. And I still don't know. But now I can start my own shoe company
Yeah.
or
yeah. Start your
something.
own skateboard shoe company.
VD boards, whatever.
VD board
Um,
sounds tight.
I'm so
yeah, that'd be
bummed.
well.
I can't. I'll never be able to skateboard. I have terrible balance,
Same.
and like when I was a kid, I
Yeah,
really wanted to specifically because the decks looked so cool. Like the art on like the bottom skateboards was
right.
so cool and so like
Yeah,
diverse.
visual. There's so much cool visual things about it.
And I just wanted to have a cool board, not to ride it, but just to like have it to look
Mhm.
at. Like I wanted to like see it because like all my friends that skate would like have these boards that just like looked so sick that they would just tear the fuck
Hmm.
up and ruin. I was just like, damn, like I just want to like have that and like carry it around with me like a I don't know, like a cool like wristband,
Like you could just put it
like
on a necklace.
yeah, like just like a chain with like a board.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll never happen for me. I'm too old now to even try. But
I think I
Damn.
want to learn. I don't think you're too old. I don't think
Oh
you're
no,
too
I
if
mean,
old.
I
I'm
fall,
like,
if I fall, I'm
when I'm
fucked.
like, once I'm like middle aged, once I'm like officially middle aged, I think I'm probably just gonna like spend money on a coach,
I have a
somebody
friend
who can
who
A
coach me and teach
skateboarding
me how to
coach?
be rad. Finally, I just
I
want to
have
be
a,
rad.
I have a friend who I'm not gonna name because
You're a coach?
he's a
Oh,
memer person, but
uh-huh.
he's like a little bit older than I am. He has like a kid, and his kid's like really into skating, loves skating, and
Mhm.
Hmm.
he like went through this like divorce with his wife, the child's mother. And the whole time that his kid like was getting into skating, he always wanted to skate, but his wife was just like, "You shouldn't do that. You're gonna fall and like break your neck or
Mm.
something." So he never did. He never learned how. And then like after they split, he was like, "I'm gonna start skating with my kid." And I was like, "Dude, you better get like a helmet and every kind of pad that exists, because if you fall down, you're done. Like for like that's a
Hmm.
permanent
Yeah.
like when you're like 15, if you like wipe out, you'll get out. Like you're fine. Maybe have a cast, but you'll like heal. But if you're like 38 or 40 and you
Yeah.
like fall, I mean that's you lose mobility forever. And
Right.
I'm just like
Yeah.
inching closer and closer as I go through my 30s to a point of no return where I'm just like I'm not tempting fate. I already have like so many ailments from years of like just not, being smart about shit that I did from like doing stupid shit at
Hmm.
shows. Like
Mhm.
I'm not pushing it. I already have to deal with like a bad knee, a bad back. I'm done. I'm done. I'm a
I keep
boring
seeing.
person now.
I feel
Yeah.
like I
Same.
take too many vitamins. I feel like nothing can stop me. Like if I wipe out skateboarding, if I try to attempt to learn it now, the vitamins will just protect me,
Right. The
you
vitamins
know?
will help you. You've got
The
performance
vitamins will help
enhancing
me.
vitamins, so
I
you're
keep
good.
thinking about
Yeah.
taking vitamins, but I don't actually end up taking them.
I
One
have
day
them
I
and I
actually
don't
Wow.
will.
take them. I have like
Uh,
6 daily
no
vitamins that I
excuse.
forget to take almost every day. Like what I've been taking
I
them
take,
all week because I've been
what do you
sick, and like
take?
now I got.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me look. Let me check it out. Let me pull these up. I
Well,
got.
whip them out.
Let's see. I got all my
Don't get
bottles.
anything. Nothing that'll get us in trouble with like copyright holders.
I got the omega 3. I
Okay, that's
got
good. Good for your skin.
the D3.
It's good for your gut and also your brain.
I got curcumin from turmeric root.
I think that one's
Cool.
pointless.
Good to
I think that one has
know.
something to do with like pee. Like it does
I've
something with
got
your pee.
I've got
Mm.
rhodiola,
Rodeo
and
clown?
I've got what is it?
Areola.
You got rodeo clown?
No, I got rodeo clown. I got
Mm.
5 rodeo clowns, 4 rodeo clowns, and I've got
We're
bromelain
talking about
and
vitamins for anybody who's just
quercetin.
joining in.
These are all
Cool.
these are all my vitamins. I
You
also
just
used to
can
have
you just buy them all? Do you need prescriptions for any of those?
no, they're all you
Hmm,
can just get fucked up on them all day. They don't care.
cool.
But I used to have a multivitamin, but then it like I read something online that was like, oh, this will like give you like I don't know nerve pain or something. I was like, all right, I'm done.
Hmm.
I love seeing shit like
Yeah.
that, like something that's supposed to like improve your health, and then like someone just like posts an article just
Yes.
like this is gonna kill you, and it's like
Hmm.
cool. I was
Or
better
like
off before.
or any sort of thing that you see any like TV ad for anything. It's like here's what it'll do for you, but like here's all the potential side effects, and it's like
You know
really
what?
gambling
Yeah.
with that kind of thing.
So everyone in my house has had like a really bad bout of the flu. Like we have just been cycling through
Hmm.
it, and
Same.
it's wrecking me. Like it is like I feel like I'm half alive right now. But uh I was reading because like now when you get the flu, you can get Tamiflu, which is like a thing that
Hmm.
like makes it much easier. And I was just like, oh yeah, I should like go to urgent care try to get
Hmm.
Tamiflu. But then I was like looking into it online because someone mentioned this to me. It can like it is like it's not even like a small occurrence. Like it is somewhat common that Tamiflu, as a side effect, will like give you like a terrible fucked up skin condition.
Forever?
And
Oh,
I don't know. I couldn't find like a conclusive answer. I didn't take it because I
Is it
got
Steven
freaked out.
Johnson? Is it Steven Johnson syndrome?
I
Do
don't
you
know.
know?
I don't know. It just said it like literally the drug itself says that like it can cause serious like skin conditions, but it doesn't say what they are. It just says serious severe skin conditions. And I just, but yeah. And where is it? Oh, it doesn't even say it on there.
That's why it's important to go out and get your flu shot. Maybe not if it like goes
Dude,
against your
I
religious beliefs,
did
but
get my flu shot. Is the most fucked up part. But there's two different types of there's flu A and flu B according to urgent care. There are two main flus currently, and I just got the shot for the wrong one.
get your flu shot and don't allow cookies on any pages.
No, you don't want
No
Dr.
cookies.
Cookies. Anyway, that's
I
my
mean, looks pretty
personal
good.
cross
Like, looks
to
like it's
bear.
doing something for him.
Is that
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein? Or like
No, that kind of does look like it.
Yeah,
Wait a
that's the
minute,
last
it's all
known
making
photo.
Jeffrey
sense now.
Biden?
Yeah, really.
This is the last picture of him.
Seriously, it's all coming full circle.
I'll
Cool.
be the one to kill him this time.
Looks like he's kind of blowing you a kiss in that picture.
You heard it here first.
Tamiflu.
Oh, and we got distracted from the reveals of like what our embarrassing things were. But
Oh,
that's
mine was-
fine.
Mine was Adidas.
Adidas, right.
Well, that was your number one. What was 2, 3, and 4? I'm gonna try to look up mine now.
Were any embarrassing? Like, I just like
I was-
that's what I'm glad about like using Spotify in a way where I'm like it's through like the meme page, so you can just like listen to whatever because it's like it just shows kind of I don't know, as if I feel like my identity, my meme identity, and my real life identity are like actually separate things. That's just like my own thing, but it's like, oh, okay, cool. It's like nothing's technically embarrassing because it's like it's my freaking choice. It's my
Right.
meme page, and I can listen to whatever I want. You know,
I
this is
found
what the meme people listen to.
Mine's definitely embarrassing. Mine's
Okay,
pretty
lay it
bad.
on us.
I'm not
Is
gonna give you the whole 100, but some highlights are. Oh God, Poland is actually number one, which I didn't realize. Poland is my
That was your
top
number
song,
one
Wow.
song.
which
Oh,
is
wow.
insane. I think I just like left it on like one time when I was like writing an article or something, and like I just had it going for hours on a loop. And it's a short song, so if you loop it for a long time, it gets a lot of plays. I think it's like a 1 minute song or something. I have two Beastie Boys songs, which is fine. I have My Chemical Romance, Cemetery Drive. I have I have
They're a
that
band that I
Kanye,
still have to listen to. I'm curious about them.
I have a recent Kanye West song, which is not I don't feel
Mm.
great about right now.
Okay,
Let's
it's
see.
research. You're researching.
Got Toadies, got Busta Rhymes, Oingo Boingo. I got this goddamn Radiohead song stuck in my head because I watched Westworld, and they fucking love Radiohead and Westworld, and I got that horrible. It's not even a good song. Is the most frustrating part. It's a bad song, but it just gets stuck in my brain. It's that song Codex.
What, a Radiohead song?
Yeah.
What is
and
it
then it's called Codex.
It's Radiohead.
Yeah. And then where is it? I just saw it.
Is it the one with the big swell? It goes,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That one's kind of good,
No, I
though.
think that's Karma
And then
Boys.
I don't know if you can see it right there.
Or no, wait.
You can't see it.
Paranoid Android.
That's Red Moon right there.
Yeah!
There you are.
Thank you!
Yeah. You're in the top
I did-
15.
Red Moon by Foie Gras, which you can listen to on all streaming platforms.
Streaming service. You should just steal it. I'm like the opposite of Metallica. Just steal my music. It's fine. I'm not really getting paid for it anyway.
I just think
But
it's
yeah.
funny, like how kind of Metallica's like such a cringy band, but like they last, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw Metallica. Like I've stayed away from Metallica my entire life because I'm like, I like real metal. I like real punk. Blah blah blah.
Well,
So
they were
like
like
I've
the
always
they like. Sorry, can you?
Oh no, you're fine. I mean, I've just poo-pooed them because I'm like, this stuff's
Mhm.
basic
Right,
shit.
that makes sense.
And then I saw them live like in 2021 and I fell in love with them. Like that was
Mm.
like I was in Sacramento with my ex and he took me to a Metallica like festival and it was like I finally had my Metallica moment, and it was just so personal. It was just me and Metallica for like a year, like just getting intimate with
Hmm.
Metallica. I understand people are sick of him and stuff, but like
Uh-huh.
I'm
Well,
so
I mean, it's
stoked.
not even in like a music, because I mean they've made like a lot of really great stuff, but in terms of just like they're outspoken about just such cringy things,
Yeah, they're like
you know. But
libertarians,
it's like
right?
it's it's pretty badass that they can like say and do all these cringy things that should turn basically a significant portion of their audience away, but it
Yeah,
doesn't, you know. And that's rare,
yeah,
Wait, so if I could
very
just
rare.
rewind for a second,
yeah.
you fell in love with Metallica, the
Mm-hmm.
Metallica of 2021. Not like you visited
Mm-hmm.
previous concerts from like their, glory days.
Mm-hmm.
Like you identify with like present day current Metallica.
That's
Well,
That's
to be
wonderful.
that's what
fair,
really
like
got you.
I like I saw them and I really liked it because they were being really funny on stage. Like Lars is like a fucking
Hmm.
Jar Jar Binks, and he's like like he's just like making everyone laugh, and they have like really great visuals, and they put a lot of money into it. And so I really like the decadence of it. But I like 1993 Metallica, I think like the most.
Yeah.
Like there's like the live album, and I just really fell for it. And James Hetfield just got a divorce. What's up, James? If you're out there,
Oh,
call me. I
yeah.
can make you a very happy man.
Oh yeah. Look at them.
Yeah, oh my God.
Lars Ulrich has always looked like just well, I mean, they all have these like, you know,
Yeah.
uh,
They looked like
like
seriously that like
opiate dealer
Yeah.
mustaches.
it just looks like in the
Uh,
80s someone grabbed four random dudes who did not know each other at the mall and made them pose for this picture. Like they're just like, "Hey, come here. I'll give you $5 to take this picture." And they're
mhm.
not really sure why, but they're just like, "Whatever, I need the money."
I mean, the first like what they have like no, they've made a lot of really cool music. They're just like sort
And
of
then
cringy
graphically, they're like
dudes.
really important. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
so
no,
am
they're
I.
huge.
I saw
That's
a
like
guy. I saw a guy here. Let me pull it up. I'll have to find the image of it. But I saw a guy like with a Metallica skull tattoo
Oh
on.
God.
oh.
I think it was on Mother's Day actually. I was at a gas
Ha-
station getting a energy drink.
Did it look fresh? I want to believe that he got it on Mother's Day as like a
No, it looked
gift.
really bad. But I was like, he was that
Happy
devoted
Mother's
to
Day.
And his mom's just like,
the
"You know I
image.
love
Yeah.
Metallica. Thank you, son."
Oh wait, I
I
think I
think I
did.
would
I
be
think I
that
posted
mom.
actually. Hold on.
Yeah, that's your future.
That's my future child. Look, mom, oh
Yeah.
my God, a skull tattoo, Metallica.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
and
I'm
your
so
Mom,
husband
proud.
I
James
bought you
Hetfield will
a
be like, "Great, great son."
Oh,
I
my
bought you a
husband, James
Metallica
Hetfield.
rehab drink or like
Oh,
Monster. I bought you
oh,
a
some kind of
Monster rehab.
monster. Oh God.
No, like a
I
Monster
want,
energy drink, some kind of Monster
oh,
energy drink.
I'm a Red Bull
Let me see if
guy.
I can find this. Let me. I'm just
I,
into all of them, but
I
like
do
not.
think that
And
like
that's also the embarrassing thing. That was like my. If they did Spotify Wrapped for like habits, that would be like my cringy one.
Yeah.
This is like how
Oh,
many
that's
energy
cringe.
drinks I drank in 2022. Yeah, it's just because it's embarrassing. It's like, how old am I? Like 13? I don't know.
I've
I'm an
actually
adult. I have two
But
cases. I have like two Costco cases of Red Bull in my fridge. Like, do I have
uh,
fruits or vegetables? No. But like I got Red Bulls.
yeah.
I've never even had a
Like,
Red Bull. I've never had an energy drink in my entire life. I don't think I've ever
okay,
had
perfect.
like a caffeinated beverage in my whole life.
You haven't had like coffee?
Huh.
No, never had coffee, never had soda. I
Just cocaine.
no, I literally just take my vitamins sometimes, not often.
Sometimes, not
It's
even like
not
as
even
much as you.
regularly. I'd probably average
Yeah.
out to like once a week though, which is something. Maybe one day out of the week I don't feel completely dead. Or maybe I do. Maybe they don't do anything. Who knows?
Who
You know?
knows? Oh, I think okay. Well, vitamins definitely do something. I had like a thyroid issue because I wasn't taking vitamins, and now I don't have that.
Well,
So
there you go.
vitamins rule. Yeah, they work. Balance
I
your thyroid hormones.
Huh.
well now I'm gonna start taking them. I guess you
Yeah,
sold me.
vitamin D.
Yeah.
Vitamin D.
How did you manage to like, you know, it's curious about all the, about no caffeine,
I just
Yeah, how'd
well,
you?
all
vitamin
right.
D.
So all it is like I am a creature of habit, like 100%. And when I was
Hmm.
growing up, my dad just like was in terrible health and like had like heart disease
Mhm.
shit. So like all the stuff that like his doctors wouldn't let him eat, we just didn't have in the house. So I never got
Mhm.
used to it. Like he couldn't have soda, he couldn't have like things that were
Uh,
high in sodium. So like I just grew up used to like the low sodium, low sugar stuff. And it's not even like a personal choice. Like I'm not like a healthy person by any means. I still eat like garbage, just like specifically
mhm.
not the things that he wasn't allowed to eat because I just like
Okay, that makes
never
sense.
got into it. And like by the time I remember when like because like I'm old enough that I remember when Starbucks blew up and like that was like a huge thing and like
Yeah.
everyone started drinking coffee all of a sudden. Because before that, you know, like people would drink coffee, but it wasn't like a big
Yeah, it wasn't
like
really like a culture. It wasn't like a whole culture.
yeah. And then
It wasn't like the coffee fad.
when it happened, I was just like, I'm not spending money on that. That's stupid. And I hated the way
Oh
Starbucks
my
looked.
God. Sorry.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Shoot me again.
That is
yeah,
so good. That is
yeah.
so good. It's not even like
Uh-huh.
in any like Metallica like official font. He's like, I like Metallica, but my own way.
Yeah.
And then he
Yep.
went for like shoot for the moon, you know?
That,
Shoot
He
look at
me
is
that
again.
like
gonna
little
land.
look at that little tuft on the top of his head too. This is
Hmm.
a
That
full
man.
look.
I think either I held the door open for him or he held it open for me, which was like pretty cool. It was just
I
a
did
great time to be at
For
that gas
your
station.
I wanna believe that he held it
Yeah,
open for
this is in the Hudson Valley. Yeah. Um,
yeah,
so that was cool.
what's his at? Can we get in touch with him? Can we have him on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's out there, I mean, he
I'm
seemed kind of
sure.
like a sort of like a raw dog.
Oh,
So I don't
he
know.
is absolutely a raw
I don't
dog.
know if that's like a I don't know if that's our if we've reached that demographic yet.
God, I hope so. That's if I could choose a
Mm.
demographic, it would be people with like just really like simple skull tattoos. You know,
Yeah.
like simple
Some
but good.
delicate men.
Hmm.
I love I love that it
Yeah,
wasn't the
if he's
only
out
one
there.
too. That he had multiple. You know, because like some people get one and it's like whatever. But like you know, he's stacking them up. I want to believe that that's also like,
Hmm.
and don't tell me if I'm wrong because I'm sure I am. But I want to believe that those are his only tattoos. Like he chose to only tattoo the back of his head. Like that's like his
Yeah.
whole move. You know, like when someone just gets
Yeah.
like the throat tattoo but doesn't touch anything else. Like it's beautiful.
Hmm.
I love.
The tattoo artist that like looks at a human body and goes, "Oh, you just want a throat tattoo? Well, here you go." Like that's an insane person.
Especially when they do it for like a fresh 18-year-old. Like when like an 18-year-old
Yeah.
person
Oh,
walks into a shop and it's just like, I want you to tattoo my face, and the artist is just like, all right, what do you want? You
I
want
wanted
like
to say
I
a
want
codeine.
a grandfather clock, and but the little swingy guy, that's Xanax, and then but the face, it's a sun, and there's a dolphin, and it's tribal. It
that sounds
represents my
sick.
mom.
I recently have been like seeing like all these fucking like because I follow fucking CGI Paul Walker, seeing all of these TikToks and there's all these influencers that have like the year tattooed on their stomach, and I've been looking
No.
Yeah.
at it and
What like
like
in like Greek letters?
no, just like the number, literally just like the like it'll say like
Like
Okay.
in like
1973,
gothic font.
but it'll be someone who's like 20 years
Oh,
old.
I meant to say Roman numerals. Sorry, my brain
No,
is
no,
not.
it's not in Roman
I said
numerals.
Greek
It's
letters. Huh.
The Greek letters.
but they'll have like
It's
fucking
in Roman ramen noodles.
but it'll be like a 27 or not. It'll be like a 24-year-old, and it'll say 1973
Hmm.
or like 1982, and it's just like you were not alive. I know that. There's no way.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about it. I was like, damn, like I don't have a tattoo there. Maybe what I'll do is I'll get a tattoo that's like 2003 on my stomach. So like everyone's just like, what the fuck? Like you're
Yeah.
not, you're not
Yeah.
19. What the hell is that? Or like
Or
I
what
don't
if you
know.
get like
If you know, you know. That's all you have to
eighteen
say.
forty nine,
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
really old one. You're like, I just look awesome.
I just want
Right.
someone to ask me like what it means and just not have an answer. Just be like, I just like the number. It's just a good number. Or like learn one detail about like a mundane day in history and just get that tattooed on you.
Yeah. I mean,
But
that's
but
the
yeah,
beauty of tattoos is like you can impart your own meaning onto them.
you can
And
really express
Was
yourself.
Sky's the
Yeah.
limit. Yeah.
Was Memento
Is
with
this James? Let me
tattoos, or
see.
did he just? Huh?
Yeah, Memento was tattoos.
Was it?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
there
he,
was.
Okay.
yeah, he
I've been meaning
tattooed.
to watch Memento since like seventh grade.
I think
I
Not
about it a
happening.
lot.
It hasn't happened.
It's like such a funny.
I
I mean,
haven't seen
they're
it
all
yet.
so poor. Like they're better. The one thing I think about when I watch that movie is there's so many better ways you could organize the tattoos on his body.
Is
You
this
know,
James
like
Hetfield?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay,
you're
cool.
choking up
Found
just
him.
seeing him. You
Oh,
can't even handle looking
it
at
says
him. You're
it
just
says
like
James Hetfield, '90s boyfriend.
too
Okay, cool. It
hot,
all makes
too hot to
sense.
handle.
Uh-huh.
I have a new fake boyfriend though now.
Is this it? Is this him?
No, no. Uh, yeah. What would you like to know about it?
About what this?
This, yeah, maybe.
Well, so are all of these like hand drawn or handmade, or is
Not
this
all
one
of
like
them.
a Photoshop joint? Because it's just really,
I
it's just like impressive. Just because I've like, anytime I see something, I'm like, I have no idea this was made. I'm kind of just like, ooh, very
I
enticed.
Oh,
so the lamb I drew, I don't think
Mm,
I drew the syringe. I think I
mm,
photoshopped the syringe. I do I have an iPad that I use often, and I
uh,
use it Procreate a lot, but I do kind of equally just all like this is all Photoshop. This is
okay.
all Photoshop. Um,
I'm just like curious
but
about all
I
like the uninteresting portions of like how is it like, things that people. It's like I'm curious about the mechanics of it, but
actually,
that's also like the least interesting part
I was
to
gonna
some,
ask
not me
you.
though.
I was gonna ask you. In the picture with the lamb and the syringe, you had like three
Mhm.
comments where people were asking you if you were cool with them getting it tattooed. Have you seen anyone like actually get tattoos of your work?
Yes, I drew a
Cool.
swan being roped up by all by the leg, and somebody got that tattoo. Somebody in Greece got that tattooed, so that was pretty awesome. So
Cool.
people ask about it, and I say when they people ask, I'm like, here's my Venmo. Like, if you'd like to give me a donation, I would
Mhm.
like $100. But like, I would just only be a little pissed if they didn't want to donate.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I want people to get my stuff. I wanted to get into tattooing. I was actually working with an apprentice for a really long as an apprentice for a really long
Hmm.
time, and I got shamed out of it by my boyfriend at the time because he was a tattoo artist, and he's like, "You're making a mockery of like my art." And um
Typical
but there's
guy
this
shit.
I don't he felt so threatened by me for like so for so long. Um, but I'm gonna start learning. I'm learning with this
Cool.
guy, Steven Sessler. He has his art page is called Sess World, and he's really
Sounds
talented
familiar.
and he works out of San Francisco. But yeah, I just want to start doing it myself. It's
Yeah.
my parents are gonna hate it. They're like, "Can you be a tattoo artist without tattoos?" I'm like, "I'll think about it."
Oh,
You
so you
can
don't have any
though.
tattoos?
I do. I do. I have one that my friend did on me when we were both manic. It's obviously on my hand. And
Hmm.
then I have one above my crotch.
I think that more
So
recently I've seen a lot more
Cool.
people who are tattooing without tattoos, which like I feel like 10 years ago like was like a thing that everyone like, shook a finger at, but like now it's like
mhm.
That's one
well,
of the
I mean
things that
like
they
you don't
shame people
really
about on tattoo
I was
night.
I
Or
was
no,
like
what tattoo
talking
night?
I was
What's
talking
it called? Ink
to
Masters, not tattoo night.
there's this dude in Baltimore who like
Mhm.
I like reconnected with who I knew like 15 years ago before I moved to California. And I was talking to
Uh-huh.
him because like the industry has changed so much and I used to like hang out with him a lot like back in the day. And we were
Mhm.
talking about how like back then, like he was like one of those people who would just like scoff at like everything that wasn't like strictly within like the confines of like traditional tattooing.
Yeah.
But now he's
Hmm.
just like, honestly, I realize it doesn't matter. Like there's like enough room for people to do it however they want to do it, and like all that shit is just like
Wow.
puffing up your chest for no reason. Like you think it's important, but like You know, you're not like
Right.
losing
It's just
business just
bullshit.
because everyone like
Yeah.
people are getting so many more tattoos than they used to anyway. So like
Yeah.
it's like there's
On
room
their
for
faces.
whatever. Yeah,
Did you all
On their
watch Ink
necks.
Masters?
I never
Yes.
saw it.
I love to
It's
live
just so
Moss. Dave
it's just so
Dave
funny.
Navarro is a friend of mine. It's
Oh,
it's
really?
hilarious. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think I'm
Um,
allowed to talk about it, but yeah,
yeah,
he's
no, you
him.
don't have to.
He's great.
Cool.
Yeah, you got
Well,
like
if he
a
ever
you've
wants
got
to be on
an
the show, he's
Ink
got open
Masters
invite.
NDA. You can't go
Kind
into
Well, I
of.
it.
mean, I remember I lived with someone who I didn't live with this person, but they lived in the same building that I lived in. Um,
Hmm.
and she was like involved in the production of Ink Master. Like she worked on it in some
Hmm.
capacity. I'm not really sure how, maybe like as a producer or whatever. And her just explaining the show to me back in like 20, I don't know, maybe 2013. So like
Hmm.
10 years ago, almost basically 10 years ago. And me just being like, I mean, I guess that's a cool premise for a show. But that's when
So
I
you
heard about it. And then like, I didn't know. It's like, I didn't even know that it was, and fast forward to the pandemic, and that's when people finally started watching it or whatever that I knew of.
Yeah.
That I was kind of like, wow, it's finally having its moment. Like I just didn't even, um, and it's a terrible show, but it's also kind of charming in that way too.
I have not liked a single piece of tattoo art that has come from that show. Like hands, I've tried.
Yeah, and that's what's so interesting too is like they're given these challenges, and it's like that's probably like the highest stakes of any reality show because it's like you're doing this on somebody, and like if it's bad, it's on them, like forever until they want to get it like painfully
Ever.
removed. The stakes,
yeah,
they're
but
high up
like
there.
aren't there like shit? I mean, I'm not really a reality TV person, so maybe I'm just like blowing this up in my head. But aren't there like shows where people have to like do weird shit and like survival stuff? Like not Survivor because obviously that's
Yeah,
like whatever.
Survivor.
But there's like I feel like I watched something where like these two people had to like go through this tube underwater, and I was like, it just seems like they're gonna drown. Like if they fuck up, like they'll just die. I
Do you
don't know.
think anyone's died on Fear Factor?
I don't know. Probably not.
I need
Or
to look this up. I need to look this up.
I, yeah, I never really got into reality TV. I've never seen Ink Master. My thing is like, if you're gonna call a show Ink Masters, do they ever tell you who like the Ink Master is? Like, do they ever decide who the
Yeah,
master of ink is at the end of it?
yeah.
Somehow it's Dave Navarro somehow.
Is it just Dave Navarro? He's just the master of ink now.
He's the master because
Hmm.
he lives Moss. Ooh, the tragic Fear Factor death you didn't know about. And
There you
then it's a
go.
Ooh,
picture of
They probably didn't. I mean, they
so
definitely
someone
look
has
weird.
died on Fear Factor.
oh, it's kind of a stretch. It was like in Bangkok, Thailand, they like hosted a Fear Factor inspired event and they brought in like a pop star and then she died of brain injuries after being hit with a barrel, like Donkey Kong Mario style.
Whoa, damn.
Jeez.
But no one has ever died on Fear Factor ever
That we know of.
because
That
Joe Rogan has saved them. I don't know. We know of. Apparently, officially, nobody. Wait, people who almost died on Fear Factor.
it just says Joe
Um,
Rogan.
I mean, his sanity died.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's
was it
so wild
because?
to like go from like that picture of him when he was young to like what he looks like now. He
Do you want
just
me
looks
to
like
pull it up?
yeah. It's so just absurd how like he basically looks like a
Oh,
Pokemon evolution of himself.
Yeah.
Like someone gave him like a fucking leaf stone and he turned into like current. He
this
looks like
man
a
is so fine.
like
I
how is
wish he
that the
didn't.
same guy?
Um, I think he
Yeah, he
was
looks like a
influenced a
host of
lot. I think
American Gladiators. Something.
oh,
Check this one out. Look out.
yeah,
Wow.
with a leather jacket.
He looks so
Jeff
Jeff
fresh.
Sussman,
Sussman? Joe
management.
Rogan. I guess that's his
Great job,
management.
Jeff. Seriously.
No, that's his management.
I know. I am
Mm.
saying Jeff really killed it with this guy. Look at him. Look at
Yeah.
that. That sultry little lip thing he's got going on right now.
And then like a little bit of chest hair coming out. He reminds
Yeah,
me of like the Lawrence brothers.
he's teasing you with it.
Ob Objectively, this
Yep.
man is fine. He's
Yeah.
fine as hell.
I just think it's funny that
Um,
there's like an urge that certain people have where it's like, yeah, I just kind of want to look like a
an egg.
yeah, like an egg cock, you know?
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, he looks like if you took that picture that you just pulled up and you made an Animorph
Mhm.
from that into like a bulldog and you pick the middle of the Animorph cycle, that's what it would be.
Yeah.
Like that's Joe Rogan now.
Wow.
He's like halfway to bulldog.
But it's
Yeah.
interesting, and I don't know if that's like a uniquely American thing, but that at a certain point everybody just kind of looks like a wad, like a human wad.
He
'Cause,
just
like,
looks
also,
a
'cause that's-
wad.
Because that's what like because Alex Jones also has that like wad body.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like where
He's
does your
a
where does
waddy.
like your whole body go? Yeah.
It's like
Got a
all of their knowledge and fury bubbles and boils inside of them, and they like, it's like that movie Big Trouble in Little China, like the dude who puffs himself up, like that's what that is. It's pure like strength, it's inner strength building, and one day it'll just explode on air. I love it.
Okay.
I can't get enough. I want Joe Rogan to get 2 times as big as he is now. I want him to widen
Yeah.
out more than he has already. Until he
Yeah.
literally can't fit through a doorway of any kind.
Yeah.
That's what we need. And then he can run for president.
Yeah. A big Joe Rogan. Big Joe.
Yeah.
Big
Big
Joe
Joe.
Ro for president. 2024. Yeah, Make America huge. Make America swole.
Make America Fear
Gains,
Factor.
yeah.
Just institute Fear Factor instead of public schools. You know, like really weed out
Yeah.
the true
Only
champs.
only the strong should survive. That's the only way it should have been
Yeah.
going this whole time.
How was
Let's
school
see.
today, honey? I ate a bull tape penis.
Did you finish it?
Thank you.
Did you finish? Your teacher called.
Did you
she
finish-
said you did not finish the testicle.
Is everything okay? I think I heard that you cheated on the testicle. Am I hearing this right?
We didn't raise you like
Pop
that.
quiz. Yeah. Yeah, maybe one day. I wouldn't be surprised.
Anyway, let's
Anyway.
we got a little sidetrack with Joe Rogan. Let's try to veer back into the lane of
Art?
art.
Okay.
Art and petty
One-
immages.
One thing I was
That
thinking
one
about
is Sharpie, by the way.
Okay.
You
Well,
were
so like,
asking.
and so do you, so, oh, that's cool. I can see that now. And then so like even the like lettering too, because like also the like font has the very like cool. So because I was just sort of looking through it and like I didn't know like where like the Photoshop begins and the
It's all
analog
meshed.
and drawing. Yeah, it's props to you for that.
I think that might be all
Designed
digital.
by Salome gave you a green heart.
I like her.
Yeah, it's got a good attitude.
I was
So
gonna
how often? So do you do this? How often do you do this versus like how you were talking about music too before? So do you still like make music, or was that kind of like a side project thing? Are you like
Music
that's
is-
still like an ongoing thing, or you're like it was kind of like a phase, and now it's like I'm predominantly graphic design, or is it all
I've-
just kind of enmeshed?
I make a living with the graphic design. Like I'm a contractor for like multiple companies and I work for bands and do commissions. So like the graphic design is at the forefront. Also, like with the music stuff, my label's been sitting and we've just been sitting on an album for 5 years. So it's just
Oh.
like my autonomy when it comes to the music it's frustratingly like just
Oh, okay.
non-existent. And I've played festivals and stuff, and honestly, I'm not very like confident when it comes to music. Nobody taught me how to set up a live show. I feel like I'm surrounded by yes men that are like, yeah, you sound great, and then like I feel like I don't. So like there's just like an
Mm.
element of just the music's still around. I actually started a hardcore band, um, and we're getting songs done. And but I had to start
Cool.
another band to have more autonomy
Hmm.
because it's really frustrating to have flaw and to feel kind of like I don't know,
Yeah,
like
it sounds
I'm
like you got sort of like when people are like, you got to be worried, you got to be careful in the music industry or whatever. You got like music
mhm,
industry by your own project. Interesting.
yeah.
And like it's
Yeah,
your
I mean I
thing, but you
really
can't
enjoy
really
it.
do anything with it because huh.
Yeah. Like the way I write like music too. I also like I don't know. I like since the pandemic, it's just been kind of rough. And you would think like with like all that time, like it would be like, okay, you learn all the riffs, you write all the songs, but like I feel like
Uh-huh.
for me it was like opposite and it was more about like gaining skills and about learning art, marrying like the analog with the digital,
Hmm.
giving myself permission to do that and like expanding in that way. So yeah, it is more about like art 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 like came to the forefront because it just benefited me more.
Right.
When someone, I mean, I feel like I saw like at least one or two memes or just kind of tweets that um kind of were making fun of like that tendency because a lot of people are like, now I'm finally gonna get like the album done or whatever. You know, it's like
Yeah.
here's all the things I thought I was gonna get done during the pandemic, and all you ended up doing is watching like every season of like
Right. The
X-Files, you know, or
Sopranos.
like
Yeah.
Survivor. Yeah. So it was kind of like, but look, I mean, so much about that. Like it was crazy to be going through like that period of time, like something that was so kind
For
of
real.
um going something that was so internal and like personal, but also that affected like the whole world at the same time, you know? So like I'm going through this personal thing, but everybody's kind of going through the same personal thing at the same time. It just created such a weird, I don't know. It created such a like weird
Yes. There's like I don't know if
world.
you've experienced this, but like sometimes there's like a bit of a dick measuring contest of like who suffered more during the pandemic. And like I'll hear people being like, "Oh, COVID was so hard for me." And it's like, "Okay, well, you're not alone. Um,
Hmm.
calm down." Um, and I was that way for a second. I'm like it affected me so much. But it was like a collective trauma. I don't know.
Right.
We
Yeah,
all
because I mean, I was like,
suffered.
I was gonna call it like trauma at first, but then I also didn't want to alienate all of the like uh um conspiracy theory right wing people who like to tune into this page and be like, oh, it was all like pandemic and
Oh,
whatnot. And I
Yeah.
don't want
We
to
gotta we
offend
gotta
them.
consider our audience because Alex Jones watches this like every episode. So
hi, Alex. Mwah.
Yeah. He's a guy who does his
Uh,
research.
yeah, we don't wanna.
I can I tell you, I fell before I even knew what QAnon really was. I kind of knew what QAnon was because I was chased by Pizzagate for a tour, but uh, I fell for like QAnon as conspiracies for a hot second in the beginning of the pandemic. I'm like, oh, it's just a hoax. They're gonna capture the pedophiles. Like, makes sense. And then like a week went by. I'm like, oh no, I'm just bored and stupid.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's like what happened with me and like the flat earthers.
I
I'm like,
definitely thought what you were about to say was that you fell in love with a QAnon person. It's like,
no,
damn, that is true dark. But yeah,
no,
like that's the thing is like a lot of I mean it's all like contextual, right? Like if someone hits you at a moment where you like don't have information readily available and they act like they do and they're confident in it, then yeah, it's like easy to like be
Hmm.
like, "Oh, yeah, you know, like I do believe that it's possible that like people in control could be like deceitful because they are." So like that's their bread and butter is like they're just like really confident and their base is just people who don't know what the fuck's going
yes.
on. And that's how they get
Yeah.
you, you know? Like they just like prey on like the ignorance.
The guy
And
I
the
think that
fear
I
and the
fell for,
uncertainty.
yes, the guy that I like that duped me. He was a guy named I think David Wilcox, and like I'm in LA, right? And I'm friends with all the spiritual girlies and all, and he's tapped into some sort of spiritual market. So like
Mhm.
there was like like of the people around me were like, yeah, David Wilcox knows there's no such thing as a COVID. We're just capturing pedophiles. And that like kind of being repeated to me with confidence. The
Yeah.
confidence is a big factor that I know rocked me.
Well, I mean, like it's like
what is it about LA or like the West Coast and like these kind of like kind of spiritual, like these like religious or like spiritual terrorist kind of people, you know what I mean? Like
Oh my
cult,
God.
uh like what's the deal? Like I mean maybe it's prevalent in other parts of
I
the
mean,
country, but
it's
it's
I
like
definitely
mean,
it's all
historically
over the coast for
historically
sure. Like it's in the Bay Area too for sure.
yeah, like what's
I
the, you know, is it just because the weather's good?
I think it's a psychosis, need to feel in control, need to feel special, like in touch with the world.
But I
Um,
think that, you know, but people feel that way in like, you know, Montana or like
mhm.
uh you know, places like I don't know, like Colorado or whatever, but there isn't the same like these predatorial sort of like spiritual um
You know, honestly,
crooks.
I think that there are in a lot of those
I
places. They're
mean,
just quiet. You know, like they're less prevalent
Mm,
and they're probably more
hmm.
successful because of it. Like they're probably
Yeah,
because
if you're not
there's
if I'm not hearing about it, it's because it's like functioning really well.
well there's tons of cults in like Colorado and like in
yeah,
like
Utah,
Mm,
the Southwest. Like
Arizona.
yeah, it's rough and like they survive because like there's not like a lot of spotlight on them. Whereas like if you're trying to like ingratiate like an entire group of people into your weirdo sex cult in like LA, of course it's gonna be in the news. You know, like that shit's gonna get
hmm.
like
Yeah, true.
found out. Or like in the Bay Area,
Yeah.
like it wouldn't happen in like Oakland and San Francisco, but if you go out to like Grass Valley, there's like giant fucking cults there.
Mhm.
Which
But
yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe they're
I
everywhere
think
and we just don't know.
I mean I think they are everywhere. I think they all are bad. I think it all operates. I mean, I think like this like intense focus on manifestation that's kind of a cult too. It's like if you just think about it hard enough, like if you think about it in the right way, if you think about it in the way that we're telling you to think about it, then you're gonna get it, kind of thing. And like the theme of all of them is like an easy form of self-betterment and feeling owed to something. And
Hmm.
there's actually like parts of it that I pick and choose from and for my own philosophy. Like I really like pronoia. Have you heard of pronoia?
No.
No.
It's the opposite of paranoia. It's like the belief that the world is out to fill you with gifts instead of like out to get you. I think that's
Mm,
it's a fun way to like navigate life. But LA is all about being like changing unto perfection, constantly changing and constantly being
hmm.
in the process of changing so as to not be accountable for yourself and who you are. You're like, oh, I keep changing. So like that was the old me
Hmm.
kind
Yeah.
of thing. And
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
yeah, it is
It's
just
almost like a remnant. I think of it almost as like a remnant of like old Hollywood or something. You know, it's
mhm,
like this romanticized thing that kind of just sticks with. It's like almost like the gold rush or something for identity, where it's like if you go
mhm.
there, you'll be able to kind of like metamorphose into
Yeah.
this like successful version of yourself, even though like that was kind of almost over and done with by the time I'm thinking about like the guy from the movie uh Grizzly Man,
Mm.
or it's like
Leonardo
people who kind of
DiCaprio.
almost have like, oh wait, not or the documentary.
Mm. Werner Herzog or the
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
in
yeah.
the
Um, Not Herzog, but yeah, the
but
guy
the
they
guy.
focused on. But just where
Yeah.
it's kind of like you have this almost like schizophrenic
Hmm.
switch, and you like want to re-identify yourself, and like all of a sudden you want to be in movies, and it's like that's frightening enough. And then, but yeah, so I guess it is sort of prime territory to get swooped up in some like cult,
I was in a
whatever.
movie.
What movie?
Oh, really? What
It's
about?
called I'm on Fire, like the Bruce Springsteen song. And it's with, you know who Lilo Brancato is? You're in New
I
York, you
don't.
should know. Lilo Brancato. He
I'm
was
here,
in
but
a
I don't
Bronx
like
Tale.
utilize all the resources.
You gotta. He was in a Bronx Tale and then he went to jail. And this is like his first movie back
Ah,
out.
okay.
And we recorded it
Oh, all
before
right.
the pandemic. But I was in a movie, but
And
I also had spiritual psychosis. So so some shit goes like hand in hand, you know?
hmm
Can we pull up the poster on this movie? Is there a poster for it online?
yeah, I looked up Lilo, but I didn't look up the poster yet,
I'm
so
on
bear with
fire.
me.
Oh.
Hey, little girl,
We gotta
what's your
plug the film,
name?
obviously.
Uh-huh.
If we
It might
were
be out.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm seeing a lot of Bruce here,
if
and
we
then I'm seeing a
were
lot of
more prepared,
good
we'd have like a
graphics of.
clip from the movie, like they do on real talk shows. You know, we'd like be like,
Yeah,
Look
hey,
but
up
set up
I'm
this
we
on
don't have that kind
fire,
of backing. So
Michael. Look up I'm on fire, Michael Spicia. Spiccia, I think.
yeah, this Google search is going crazy. Michael, it's like a lot of sexy Bruce Springsteen, a lot of covers, a lot of TIFF. Is it a short film?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Way to go, TIFF. The hits just keep on coming.
your algorithm is just warped from all the Joe Rogan you were looking at.
Yeah. Well, that's the
uh,
other thing about being a meme admin is that like your algorithm can be as psychotic as possible, and
yeah.
I just use it as an excuse, really.
Yeah, fair enough.
So let's share the screen and see more about this I'm on fire film.
I'm
There it
this is
is.
my first time watching it. Yeah, there it is. The hits
Official
just keep on
selection.
coming.
They
It
really
is?
do.
Oh, Nick
Cool.
Zenner did the music for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Damn. Well, I wish it the best.
Me too.
We need to find the release date.
Oh, Michael Specia.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it seems like it's doing the festival circuit right now, so
Mm.
hang tight on that, and we'll keep you all posted.
We'll get to it. We'll
That's
come
cool.
back to it. We'll circle back later when we
Yeah.
have more
So
info.
you said so you've been waiting on this new album to be, what is it, just like not allowed to be released by like label legal stuff?
Um, I don't know.
It's just like
Okay.
in a stasis.
It's just an stasis. It's been mixed. My producer is like a really cool person. He's like worked with like the ballet. His name's Johnny Goss. He's worked with Lulu's. He's worked with Fall of Troy. I was like,
Oh,
yeah.
Hmm.
I like that band a lot in high school
yeah.
too. Um, and he's mixed it, and like especially because he's like gotten to know me over the years. It sounds great. It sounds like a very matured Holy Hell, and
Hmm.
but it's just shelved right now.
I
So
feel like I mean I've never experienced this in anything I've done, but I imagine it must be very frustrating to like have created something and not be in control of like what's done with it. Like just having someone
hmm
else have their hands on the wheel of like your car essentially and just being like, well, we'll go when I want to. Like
Well,
that.
especially because it's there's like a um just like you so just like with like a trend or something, it's like with when you're creating something, there's such a distance that's created. Like once you're done working on it, it's like by the time it's released, it might not like it's
yes,
not the same world that you were in when you made it, and you're not the
Yeah.
same
yes,
person necessarily. So it's like okay, but by the time you release it, it's like I don't even feel any kind of like personal connection to it,
Yeah.
and it
you
was
nailed
relevant
it.
at the time. It was relevant at the time, but now it's like it's not
I didn't,
even.
yeah, I didn't even think about it in those terms. If I listened to like bands I used to be in, like I don't know, like 6 or 7 years ago, it
Mhm.
would just be cringy for me. But that's different because were not great bands. I'm sure the album's very good. Holy Hell is an incredible album.
It's the new album is I listen to it a lot. I really like it, but yeah, I don't connect to it anymore. I'm like a whole new bag of
Mhm.
cells.
Yeah.
now, like a whole new synapses, whole new patterns. It's cringy to think about myself as like as naive as I was 5 years ago, writing about feeling naive, but it's okay.
If it's 2 more years, you will be a completely new organism because what it's like, all your
Exactly.
cells cycle out every 7 years. So you're almost a different person completely.
I'm like, what,
You're down to like
80% there?
yeah, you're like mostly gone. You know,
Yeah.
it's a specter of your past. It's a ghost of your former self being held in the bureaucracy of the label.
And it's a small label, but like it's one person runs it and she
Yeah,
works really hard. So like I'm not faulting her or
right.
like anyone, but like it's just no one's fault, but it's at fault.
Yeah, it's just frustrating. Like even if no one's, if there's no one to point a finger at, it's still just frustrating.
I like this one a lot.
Thank you. Oh, so circling back to AR, um, I was on TikTok and I saw probably one of the most beautiful paintings I've ever seen. And it was just
Hmm.
it was it was it was AI art. And this was in the early
Whoa.
stages of Dali, but this person went really deep searching for what they wanted. So they're like three or like cloaked figures in a circle worshiping something in the style of Monet.
Mm.
And I basically took their
Oh, I
prompt
think
and I
I
put it
see
into
you had
Dolly.
oh,
That's how that came
for that
out.
particular one.
Hmm.
Because I know, because there were other, you did a few with like the circle figures, like this one,
Yeah, that's just
right?
Matisse. Yeah,
But
that's
that's
from the
Picasso though. Oh, that's
no, it's
Matisse.
Matisse. It's Matisse.
All right. Sorry for all you art historians out there. I didn't mean to get it so busted.
Oh, they're both dead. They don't
I
care.
like to think of myself. I went to the art school of hard knocks, not really. Um, but yeah, it kind of reminds me uh, of Coven from American Movie.
Mm.
It's just a striking. But so wait, this isn't, and also like Electric Wizard too.
Hmm.
So this
Oh.
isn't a stamp that you used. It's like an image that or you said it's from Dolly. You put it in and used it.
Well, the image was the reference. I made the
Hmm.
figures and the cow, and it's like Dolly gave me the inspiration, but I actually put
Mm.
it into practice. And then these splotches
I thought you were
are
saying in this like that the Earth is cow shaped. Because look at
a
those.
cow
Kind of looks like
figure.
continents on that thing. Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
like,
It's
that.
just
Sorry.
cows.
Continue.
I'm stuck on that comment from Phallus Cooper. I just like cannot stop reading it.
What is that?
I mean, how the fuck do you spell boogie bourgeoisie?
I think because I was joking that I don't know how to spell Nietzsche.
Oh, I like
Nietzsche.
I used to know that dude like forever ago, like years and years ago. It's just
Pride.
funny.
Dallas Cooper.
Phallus Cooper, yeah,
I like
good.
him. He was my manager for a bit.
He's a good guy.
I like him a lot. Right, this is all digital, all of it.
Hmm.
Um, but what I do when what I do that helps me a lot is if I have a new image, I make it look old and then I manipulate it.
Cool. Well, yeah, because there's this other because there's this one account that I found once I was started using Pinterest. I was like, oh, this is a
Hmm.
resource. Um, and there was so I kind of felt like I fell into Pinterest at really like late, and then I also discovered like Tumblr aesthetic things like very late because again, like when
Yeah.
Tumblr was kind of like at its peak, I feel like it was like mid um like alcohol
Yeah.
haze that I was in. So I was kind of like I was aware that it was happening, but I didn't know how to act like
You missed the
what
wave. You
it
missed the
meant.
Tumblr wave.
I missed the toll, but the benefit of that though is I can come back to
Mm,
it now, and it's like new to
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So
But now
sometimes I'll
there's no
like use an
porn.
image from
You
something.
Yeah. So now it's
you
safe for
you,
you.
yeah, now it's
Yeah,
safe for you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
missed
yeah,
out like you're never gonna see a boob ever now.
Actually, they brought it back.
yeah.
Tumblr officially
Boobs.
is like allowing nudity again. I found out.
Really? Good to
Yeah.
know.
Or at least they're going to. I don't know
Cool.
if they started yet or not. Like I saw something on Instagram. People were like, "Tumblr's coming back," and I was like, "What does this mean?" And I clicked it, and they were like, "Boobs." And I was like, "Cool. That's all
Well,
it
but so like
takes.
there was
That's all they
there's
need."
this one account called I'm probably gonna butcher the pronunciation of it, but I think the handle is Amoy Senior. Is this is the
Yes, I follow
Instagram
him on
handle?
Instagram.
Yeah, yeah. So like I saw that and like they and just both of those because I like I love the look of their work and also yours when it comes. I'm like I just don't even I understand like what's happening here and how it's sort of synthesized, but it's like I just don't know how to do it, and that's just like it just makes me like it more. But I wanted to definitely wanted to like bring up that account too because that was especially with like an image like
Amoy Senor,
uh
I don't know how to pronounce it either, but oh my God.
mhm,
Yeah, pull it up. I've
yeah,
never seen this
He's
account.
such a force. I follow him.
yeah. Um, and I was like, because I was looking at this and I was like, oh, it reminds me of this account. And then I looked at the account. I'm like, that dude's got like thousands of posts too. Yeah, I'm like,
Mhm.
here, let me just search for it first. Um,
When you get
but
into a flow of the collage state, you can make things like
yeah,
really fast.
jo Jonathan Flores.
Is he from
Uh,
Brazil? You know?
I think Argentina.
Mm.
Like, here, it's very slow right now. But, uh,
This is all going to be smoother when we get our intern to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
We're just shopping around. We don't want to go with the first applicant.
No, no.
We got to find like the
Are you
right
Um,
gonna
fit.
Fear Factor your intern?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it's going to be to
yeah,
the
because we have
death.
our own like Petty Images. It's like its own like independent country, its own
Yeah.
continent, so we can
Yeah.
get away with whatever we want.
Yeah, we're
It's
not
a
bound by
clause in
the
the
laws and
LLC.
morals of the United
No,
States.
it's like
Must
international
be.
waters, kind of. Why is all of a sudden like things just aren't
I'm gonna
loading? I
take a
don't know.
photo of
Maybe
us for
posterity.
For pos-
Come on.
for Instagram. So I'm gonna use my
Oh, cool.
I
Oh, I love the
I
iPad pics.
I'm not logged
Yeah.
into my music page on my phone because I am about to get kicked
Uh,
off it.
Oh,
Um,
uh,
okay, 3, 2, 1, say petty images. Okay.
Petty Images. I feel like a dweeb, but I have to dress like a dweeb today.
No, you look nice.
yeah, you look
Um,
good. You got
I like your
got a good vibe.
cardigan.
it's been a while since I worn this one, but this is
You're s-
Amoy
oh,
Senor.
Oh, this is.
I've been
I
thinking
love
about
this.
that one.
Yeah, like it's just very like obviously they're different pages, but it's very cool.
I think it's really important sometimes to take the time to play with every single effect you can, um, like on an image. Do you know what a smart
Uh-huh.
object is?
No.
Yes.
Well, if you have Photoshop and you make something a smart object, you can put a whole bunch of effects on it and you can turn them off too, like with the
Uh,
eye, and then you could
uh-huh.
see how everything is affected. So like I'm sure what he does is digital. I'm not maybe there's some Xeroxy stuff.
Well, yeah, like I think the volume of work that this guy makes
Mhm.
is like it must be digital. It's because there's so much, unless it's just like that rapid. But what do I know?
Yeah, he's so fucking good.
Yeah, like this one is cool too. Just like things are kind of slow on my end right here. Like, look at that. It's neat. But yeah, I saw an image of his on Pinterest. I was like, what the hell?
Hmm.
And it just kind of like fell into the
I like those hands with the
feed.
eye.
Hmm.
Mhm.
He's very into appendages, which I like that.
Yeah,
Mm.
you gotta
So
be.
cool.
Hmm. But yeah, so I mean, like his stuff came to mind, but obviously, like your stuff is more on the almost like BDSM, like pinup leather.
Yeah. That's how I started. I don't, yeah. I just think women's bodies are really pretty. Like, it doesn't feel sexual to me
Hmm.
anymore. I think I've like, um,
Yeah, I guess
just
some of the
like
more earlier
destimulated
ones had like more
myself.
like a bondage thing to it.
Yeah. I think now it's everything I do is just kind of the celebration of being a girl because like I just don't have a choice. Or it feels like I don't. And like
Hmm.
it's all I feel like my art right now is sounds so corny to say, but it is like my public diary. And I do feel good having my feelings validated, even though I'm expressing them in like a vague way.
Hmm.
Um, and it's
Well,
like it's nice to just work with my hands and like actually like kind of release and express.
I like that. Something that I've always liked about it is that it's got like a very you have like a very consistent style, whereas like the
Really?
tone.
Thank you.
I mean, it's yeah, like from looking at it, like you can always kind of tell that it's you, but like the tone of like what the message is, or like how I read it at least, because like I don't know what the intended
Hmm.
message is, but like will shift from like almost being like I mean like it's often like kind of like sardonic or like even like a little
Hmm.
cynical at times, but
Hmm.
like occasionally it'll just like shift into like this like seemingly more personal, which I don't know. I mean, like it could be personal, or it could just be like a thing you're saying. I don't know, but it seems personal and like very honest and bare. But like the consistency is like the same between the two. You know, like the tone shifts or like the message kind of like changes shape, but like the presentation is like so consistent and like has this like almost like for lack of a better word, just like this purity to it that's like very clear. So like
Wow, thank you.
it makes it feel like you knew what you wanted to do and like you like it. I guess what I'm trying to say is like it feels like the execution is like so well managed, which I feel like is something I struggle with
Thank
when I
you.
have like an idea. Like I can think of it in my head and like have like a very clear picture of it, and then like executing that idea, something gets like
Really?
muddied up. Not always, but like it does happen on occasion. It just seems like it reads as very fluid and like clear. Like when I see anything you make, which I feel like is like a
Thank you.
testament to your skill and like I appreciate it is what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
Um,
thanks.
but I think that that's like a good. I mean, that's like a good meter for like someone's craft is like how like the execution because like anyone can have like an idea. It's like how you execute said idea that like really is like shows like your skill. I guess at least in my
Thank you.
opinion. That's something that I will include in our fear factor. That's gonna be a
Okay.
trial on our
How
on our version.
confident are you while photoshopping?
Yeah, that's gonna be a big one. I mean,
That's gonna be
Or can you
Photoshop
do
Fear
this with
Factor?
like a? Can you do it with like a lit firecracker in your mouth? I don't think you
yeah.
can.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
I
man.
had this is similar, but not exactly the same. I had an idea like years ago before the pandemic to try to pitch a reality show where like a bunch of people that
Mm-hmm.
ran meme accounts all had to get in a house together like the real world, and then there would be challenges, but all the challenges would be like you have to like take a format and make the funniest joke with it, or like you have to make like x number of variants of a template whatever, and like you would get voted out if like you didn't get enough likes, like you would literally be like liked off of the show. And I was like, damn, this
Unliked
would be
off
so
the
good.
island.
Yeah.
It's
And
such a good premise.
I was like so geared up to do it, but then the pandemic happened, and like
Pandemic.
half the people that I was gonna do it with, deactivated their accounts. So here we are. But maybe one day, maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Oh yeah, like
Hmm.
memers love doing that. I
Yep.
mean,
we love doing dumb shit. We love doing dumb shit
Yeah,
and being
the
seen
act.
doing it. I don't know.
I mean,
I think that people run out of steam with it because like I get
it
it.
is
I mean,
vulnerable.
it's like I'm sure there's a degree of this in everything, but like the audience is so brutal like all the time, you know, and like I
Well, I
imagine
mean,
like
and one thing that I think is dangerous about it, just like kind of in agreement with that, is um, like, and I've definitely been experiencing it this past week, is that because it's all like digital based, like
Mm,
there's no product and there isn't like a side thing associated with it. Like for my account, it's like I'm putting these things up there that I've now cast this whole like
uh-huh.
delusional association, like this deserves this many thousands of, you know what I mean? Which is like I'm just putting like words on a picture I have no ownership over. You know, like the effort has gone so downhill, but I just feel like I'm owed this certain thing. And it all depends on like what the algorithm wants to do at the end of the
Yeah.
day. Like
Slave to
it
the
doesn't,
algorithm.
so it's kind of like if the algorithm is punishing me for something, all of a sudden like the worth of the page kind of plummets also. And then it's
Mm.
like I'm not looking at a concrete object or anything or something that I can like, so if it something performs badly, it immediately like makes me feel bad even if I know it's not
Oh.
rational. So it's kind of like, you know, after a significant amount of like feeling that particular way, it's just like, you know what, I gotta leave this like toxic thing for like my
yeah.
own
Hmm.
mental health, or to have, it's like easy to get into an unhealthy place with it is what I'd say.
Yeah, I mean that's real, but like my thing is just like I get hung up on like, you know, the angry people in comments who are just like mad that you didn't like make them
Yeah.
laugh. Like one out of like
Yeah.
however many thousands of people is just like this wasn't funny to me, and it's like it shouldn't bother me. Like that should not like stress me out at all. But I'm just like I feel like the like that tick in my head that's just like I'm gonna go off on this fucking person. Like this is not like I don't give a
Mm.
shit what this person has to say or how they feel about anything, but I have to respond to them even though it's stupid and it's just gonna create unnecessary tension in my life. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna get mad.
I went
Right.
I went off on someone recently
Oh,
and I was getting so many messages telling me that you could have let it go. I'm like, no, she could have not commented on that. It was it was like on one of my popular pieces. It was like
Mm.
I wrote a piece about like it was inspired by something. Like it was I wrote a piece about how like nature doesn't like symmetry or whatever. And sh- in I have I think I took a screenshot of it. Um she just she was telling me that my art was wrong and that my perspective was wrong. And it like the feeling of invalidation. I don't know. I usually don't I delete like hate comments. I'm like, my life is
yeah.
perfect. You never said this.
Uh,
But that one like particularly like irked me. And I don't know if she was trying to like troll me and
yeah,
succeeded,
yeah.
but like I went off and I told her to shut the fuck up. And all her friends came by and were like, you shouldn't tell somebody to shut the fuck up. That's rude.
Yeah, there's
But
somebody like one of the times there's something similar happened on a post of mine where it was like someone said like this isn't your best, or like something along those lines,
Oh
like
yeah.
something that was like very, it was like very subjective, and for some reason I was like, I think I said, I was like, what a useless comment, you know what I mean? Like, because it like really served no purpose other than like make the
yeah.
person feel bad, but based on their interpretation of something. So I was like, what a useless comment. And then somebody came in to chime in to be like, you're not being very nice to this person who wasn't very nice to
Yep.
you. And I
Yeah.
and I was like,
I
oh, well,
don't
this is
get
kind of
that.
getting derailed. And then it turned into a whole thing. And I'm like, this I just shouldn't have even.
I found the comment. Can
But
I
it was
read it
just
to you?
kind of like,
Oh yeah. No. Yeah. Let's hear the
oh yeah,
comment.
yeah,
No.
yeah, pop it
Oh,
up.
it people just feel so entitled to like
Mm,
everything. I don't
yeah.
know.
Well, they're more
So
correct.
she,
I don't know. The audience is always right.
She said this whole post is misinformed and also could be so much cooler if you learn that love, gravity, and time are constants, that nature loves symmetry, and that you have control over every decision you make. Imagine the violent, wild beauty you could spark with that knowledge. If she didn't throw the fucking esoteric thesaurus at me, I don't think I would be as mad. But
Mhm.
I don't
Imagine the
know. Like,
violent wild beauty. Just imagine it. Just
imagine
That
a
reminded me
gun
of
in my
that reminded me
mouth.
of that background that you had. That was like, I'm racist against Portland,
Do you
because
want me
like
to
that
pull it
person
up
kind of just
again?
sounds like anybody who I know, anybody who I assume lives in Portland. Like that's kind of their
I
MO.
Yeah.
Imagine the violent whatever.
I am
It is.
racist
That's what you
against
get
Portland.
when you
If you're from Portland, I know you're kind. I see you.
mm, leaving comments and drinking craft beer.
I
I don't know.
I just I don't know. I told her
It's a
in a
tight
bitchy way. I'm
man.
like, this is my perspective in my life. Like this is
Hmm.
I that piece I did, it was about like I know this man who has like terrible OCD and like is kind of a piece for him. And uh and like you can't tell
Mm,
me that my perspective is wrong. You can't invalidate things that like
right.
I have been through, that I am interpreting through my art. And I feel, I don't
Yeah.
know.
it's so
Yeah,
wild
I
exactly.
that
It's
am
like, man,
racist.
people.
it just
It's wild that they
yeah.
like feel the urge. I mean, it's wild that people think that they can like comment on that to begin with, but the fact that they actually do it, like the fact that someone like goes on to like someone else's work and they're just like, no, actually, I disagree with what you think about this. Like, and it's just like, then just fucking
But it's
unfollow the
not even
page or something.
almost like
Make your
it's not
own
even a
art.
disagreement. It's not even a disagreement. It's like, no, you know something? I own this and I think it's wrong. Like it's not even like a disagreement. It's more like I'm gonna be the ultimate judge here. Like I have ownership over it because it's like
Well,
on my
yeah,
phone and it's
it's
Main
like,
wrong.
character syndrome.
or it's like the
Hmm.
equivalent of like if you go to a fancy restaurant and you send your food back, except in this context, you're not paying for it. It's like if you literally dumpster dived at a restaurant and then, or not dumpster diving, because
Right.
that's
Yes.
not the equivalent of social media,
Yes.
but like it's like if you went to like
Kind of.
a free tasting and you're just like, no, this
Yeah.
is not good enough. It's like you didn't fucking pay for it, you know? Like, don't come back.
Yeah.
It's simple
Go
as
home
that.
and
Like,
cook your own food.
yeah, like don't come back to the restaurant if you don't fucking like it. But like, unless you're gonna like pay for the piece and then comment on, which I mean, even then, like, there's an argument to be made about why that would be inappropriate too. But it's like you're not. People will go on Instagram, see free content from like every medium that they can, and they'll just like
Yeah.
Hmm.
get this wild hair up their ass to be like, oh, you know what? I don't like this actually. Can you just like hear me out about why you fucked up because I'm unhappy? Like
Yeah, here's
be
why
one
your
of like
perspective is actually wrong.
it's like thousands of people are like, engaging with this thing that you created, but like I think that it's not good and I'm gonna have to tell you why.
She said that. She said that. I'm like, okay, so are 16,000 people wrong? She goes, yes. And I'm like, okay, so you're right. So you're
It's
right. Like
Yes.
you have the secrets to the universe, and I'm just like a fucking schmuck.
That's how you can
So
tell when someone has like everything figured out, like their life
psychosis.
is going really well because
She's 20,
they
by the
they
way.
argue with people on the internet. That's how you know. Like if
Hmm.
someone really knows what's up and has like a good clue into like enlightenment, they're gonna get mad at people on Instagram. Like that's just what you
That's
do.
what.
It's a
Yeah.
beeline to
Yeah.
like true
Yeah.
spiritual enlightenment is just like yelling at
So I've been
strangers.
watching all of these like uh macho videos on YouTube that are like how to be a powerful debater. So I can just like
Oh,
stick it to the. It's funny because it's always like this. I don't know who makes the videos, but it's always like taking you through the nuances of arguments that have been made by like Ben Shapiro and stuff. It's like images of like basically just like
is
these
he
really
a good
toxic
arguer?
masculine figures. I
I
don't
don't
know.
think
It's
he
like
I
it was
don't think
mainly just
no. I have to say for
it's just
anyone
kind of a
listening,
no, no,
he's
no. It's kind of
not.
just like a petulant baby. It's just
Like
like petulant baby
objectively.
He
man.
no, he here's
But
the
it's
thing.
just funny. It's an interesting series of videos. But it's
Huh.
like using these really macho.
I don't think Ben Shapiro is a
Yeah, it's
good
just.
arguer. I think that he is
But
a
I mean,
good
he could probably like troll people in the comments though.
yeah, he's a
You know.
disrupt he like understands how to be disruptive, which is not the same thing as forming good logical
Mm.
arguments and debating well. Like there's a distinction between like
What about
being
Jordan
good.
Peterson?
No, Jordan, like it's the same thing. It's like understanding how to like upset someone enough to off-put them from like maintaining their presence of mind and like their train of thought is one thing. That's not like making your point well. That's just like making someone else not make their
Right.
point
It's kind of
well.
like it's not even an argument.
Yeah.
It's like how to be like a sociopath.
Yeah, it's like basically knowing how to be an asshole really well. You know, like it's not a skill set. Like if like they were to like have to, you know, state their case in like a courtroom or something, it wouldn't fly because like it just they're not good
To be like,
debaters.
you
They're
are
just
a baby.
they're good at like playing the angles of someone else's emotions. Like they're good at making people upset, and like that's like a completely. I mean, it
You'd be really
helps
good
you
at
like
like
if you're
cutting a
arguing.
like wrestling promo.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like it's just about like
Uh-huh.
basically pissing off the other person to throw them off their game. Like you're not good at what you do. You're good at making other people less good at what they do, and I
So
feel
I
like
won't
it's
watch
like
more of these
Yeah.
videos.
I wouldn't recommend it. I feel like I like
Okay.
I grew up. My mom was a pretty serious lawyer in D.C., and I feel like through
Oh.
her and like the general disruption of a not great childhood, I feel like I'm really good at confrontation and very good at debating people, just because like it
Really?
was the bread and butter of like my communication at like most of the early stages of my life, and
Hmm.
it's so funny now to see like all of these like you know wannabe influencer dudes on like TikTok and Instagram talking about like being on the top of their game, and like they're not. They're just like really
No.
good at arguing with random strangers who have no background in arguing. You know, no background in debating, no
And like,
background in like
mhm.
logical structure. It's just like you're
Yeah.
fighting randoms essentially, or you're like trying to debate people who are emotionally charged about what you're talking about, but they're like not
Yeah.
prepared. They didn't like study how to like piss
Yeah.
you off, and you're just kind of throwing them
Yeah.
off their toes, which isn't you making a good point. It's just you like having the capacity to be an asshole. You know, it's like having the
Yeah.
capacity to not listen and to intentionally try to disrupt what the other person is saying doesn't really make you like good at anything except like pissing people off, which you can do like a million
Yeah.
ways. You don't have to learn how to do that, you know, like there's already
Yeah.
so many ways you can do it. They just like have a patent on like their
Yeah.
weird smirky face that they do when they do it. That's the Jordan
Yeah.
Peterson like
They,
bitch beer then. That's their thing. Like they just that's their little like you know, signature for the whole
checkmate.
thing. Like they're just like,
Yeah.
you know, that's what
Yeah.
What's your sign? What are your signs?
I am a
I'm a
Cancer.
Libra.
Me too. I'm a Cancer. So
Cancers get a lot of
good
hate.
job.
I found out recently. Not recently. I've
You're,
known that for like. People don't like cancers. I've found out recently
yeah,
through like
Cancers
memes.
are nice.
That's what I thought. I thought you know I think I'm pretty nice, but people always tell me that that's like. I'm thinking about like several meme pages that like do astrology memes, and like cancers get a lot of grief.
Yeah,
We
I
get put
mean,
through the
we
ringer, I think.
we do. I think yeah. I don't, but you know, it's funny too. I kind of like being roasted a little bit.
I see. I just don't have the
But you,
background to understand. Like I don't. I know bits and pieces about astrology, but not very much. So when people are like roasting cancers, I have no idea where to place it. Like I don't know how much of it is like true or not true. And like sometimes I'm just like, I don't know how if this is serious or like you know what I mean. Like I like can't read.
No,
I can't read into it enough. It's just too
the meme
abstract for
pages are
me.
just for fun. I think all the meme pages are just for fun, and even the ones that they're taking themselves seriously should just calm down. I
uh-huh.
like astrology. Like I think when you get into like just the study of patterns and the way it like interacts with the sky, it's like really beautiful geometric connection. But like the kind of the shallow aspect of it that like, oh, cancers are maternal and so.
And
It's
external.
just like a for commercial. It's just for to
Hmm.
reach a wide audience and cast a
Abilify.
wide net. Abilify.
Infographics and whatnot. Sell merch.
I've dipped my toes
Um,
into it a lot more because
Mm.
it's just like sometimes when I'm like going through templates to try to think of things to say in like format
Mm.
jokes or whatever, I'm like I should throw an
Mm.
astrology thing in here because that'll just like pop off and like
It will.
but I but
It will.
I
I did an astrology thing and it popped off like unbeknownst to me. I just wanted to do it.
was
And
that
I'm
the
just
Maury Povich one?
Yes,
I've
like
told that
your
before.
Libra's Maury Povich. And then I made
Oh, I
Cancer a
knew that was just
horseshoe
the one I
crab.
grabbed. Wow.
I just think like, but
Maury
here's the
Po-
thing: like, I'm not gonna make a joke that I don't understand. So every time I've like like mentioned something in astrology, I then have to like go look it up to make sure that like it's at least like
uh-huh.
vaguely correct. So I'm not just talking out of my ass. Because the last thing I want is an astrology person coming for me, being like, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about."
You're like, well, yeah,
I
obviously.
a couple years ago I did an experiment on my Twitter where I'm just like the signs as weapons, like, and I just put random shit, just
Hmm.
absolutely random shit. And I do believe in astrology and I do like read study it, but I just wanted to see how people would interact with it. And a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, yes, that's so Gemini." Like, I think it's like funnier if you are just random and then people
Yeah,
assign their own meaning to it.
yeah.
I think that's the only reason like my page has like done well, honestly. Because it's like I'll just have this thing that like I don't know, I'll assemble this thing and then it's like really vague and doesn't really mean anything, and then people will just be like, "Oh yeah." I
I
mean, there's
see.
probably more to it than I'm
I,
letting on, but that's kind of like when someone, I don't know, just like being vague enough and people will
Assign
react
their
to
own
it in a
meaning.
positive way. Yeah. I mean,
I
not all
feel
the
like I
time,
think too
but
far into all the stuff that I post. Maybe not
mm,
all of it, but most of it. Like I like will just like
that's cool.
draft like so many different versions of everything I post because I'm just like, which one
Hmm.
is like
Mm.
actually the most clear? Like which one is like makes the most sense? And like I know no
We
one is
just,
actually paying attention other than me.
This is Violet Chachki. My friend Netta
yeah.
did a music video for
Oh,
Moreau,
okay. I was wondering about that. Okay,
and I got to make some fan art for them. And this is a picture that Netta
cool,
took, actually. And it's that famous
cool.
TikTok song. Um, and so I got to draw Violet Chachki. That's my favorite, is to do portraits of people,
Hmm,
like
cool.
this.
Yeah, because we just finished watching that season of Drag Race
Drag
actually. So I
Race.
was like, oh, whoa, look at that. Cool.
Just so you both
So what
Yeah.
can we
know,
look out for? Yeah, what can we look out for because we're nearing the end of our
right?
show
We
here.
got 2 minutes left on the clock.
Hmm.
Oh wow.
What can we
I'm
look forward to in the future with foie gras, graphically, musically,
okay.
Spiritually,
Well,
anything else, Lee?
2023 harmonious lifestyle, okay? Whereas we're just as happy, like protect that shit at all costs. Um, I have a new band and it's a bit of a harder sound, and I think people are gonna really like it. Um,
Did you say the name of that band, or have
n-
you?
no,
What's the
I'm
name of the band?
um
Oh,
I
okay.
think I
you
could
don't.
talk about it. No, I'm gonna wait. I don't want to jinx it. I'm gonna I'm gonna release one song and
Yeah,
then go
you
full
don't.
force with it.
Got it.
We'll hear about it when it's ready.
Yeah, and then
Cool.
I I'm I love working for musicians and I hope to continue doing that in the new year. And what I really want to do is I published this book of it's a zine, but we call it the Book of Love like last year, and we're gonna do the Book of
Cool.
Power next year, which is more
Oh, nice.
sexy.
Ooh.
And is that a solo book or is it like a group venture or what?
It's solo. I'm not really good at working with other people, but I'd like to.
Cool.
Um,
Unless
uh,
it's like a
uh,
rad band that you're in.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm
If you're doing
starting
rad
to
shit.
like if you're doing red
Yeah,
shit, yeah. And then
cool.
I don't know. Life is being lived. I hope to go on tour. I hope this next fall record comes out. And yeah.
Cool.
Well, we're anxiously awaiting
Well, thanks
its
for having me
release.
on.
Yeah, thanks for being here, and
Yeah.
can't wait to hear that record. Can't wait to hear the new band. Can't wait to see the new book. It's all good stuff. We're all
It's all
stoked.
good
Hmm.
stuff. We're all friends.
We're
Yeah.
all doing good. We're all happy in 2023. We just got to make it at like what, 3 more weeks, 2 more weeks, then we're golden.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No more
Which means
pandemic.
we're gonna be taking another hiatus from this for like 2 weeks from the show for all the loyal
Uh-huh.
listeners out there, because of just all the holidays. But then we'll be back. that the new year already? Yeah.
We'll be back at some point after.
Yeah, we will be back.
After every.
We didn't give it
holiday.
up. We just, holidays happen.
Yeah, we didn't fall
Um,
off.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, not at all. We don't do that. But thanks again for being on the show and
Thanks for having
everyone
me.
for tuning in. Yeah. And have a great week, everyone. Stay petty and images and follow
Stay
us
both
all on
petty and
Instagram.
images.
Petty and
Alright.
image.
Hmm
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.